I'm not guaranteeing the thing with mine either, so.
You may get more than one on them.
Yeah.
Well, that should be interesting. That kind of stuff is the best
I've seen
part of
that
it.
happen before.
Oh, yeah. We can always edit them, can't we, really?
Yes, I think
We're planning to anyway, whether we're getting or not.
I agree.
That's what
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
print
do.
this word for word and put it out to the community.
Sure, one time they didn't work, and then-
Maybe you won't want to tell all the stories they tell, you know, it may be that you don't want them. That is, if you start to tell something that you really don't want the whole town to know, you better let her shut it off.
Don't you trust
Laura,
her?
let's have that letter there. Laura,
Huh?
give that to,
Oh, Dorothy?
she wants to read it, so.
No, it seems like we could trust really not.
Oh, Bernie, where is that, or before we get started on this, where's that road book? She wants that.
Road books in that, honest, I don't think there's anything in that.
Well, I think she'd like to look at it.
But, trouble is, it's so darned old, it stinks.
Well, never mind, I can hold my nose.
February 18th, 1986, 2 in the afternoon. We're meeting at Lora and Bernie Atherton's on the Gebbie Road in Greensboro. Present are Will Masse, Dorothy Ling, John Allen, Lora and Bernie, and Wilhelmina Smith.
They got, I can remember.
But I don't think there's anything in that that's.
This is, Sears kept track of his payments to the town, and then Bernie took over this book after Sears, you
The
see.
Sears that headed first.
Yeah,
So he was
Yeah,
first.
I couldn't remember.
You weren't sure if it
Sears
was
that
before or
headed
after.
for it.
and,
I would put.
now that's Sears, I can tell Bernie. Yeah, now they, you see Wilson, Irwin Wilson, and Collins, and Miller, Miller were auditors. And they audited this before Bernie took it over, and it starts there where Bernie, and it tells who worked, you see.
Yeah,
We used to
I
write
think
up
it's
with
interesting,
Fred
I found
Story.
it
If he
interesting.
doesn't mind my taking it, you're giving it to me anyway.
him, and he
He does,
so much
yeah,
a
he
day
just
for
doesn't
writing.
think you want it,
Yeah.
but how was surprised he
Yeah,
didn't
that's
judge
what
how
I
much you
says
want.
a day.
Well, she used to do behind it, you know.
Yeah.
And, old Joe holding the drill bits, you know.
Yeah.
So it.
Well, now you got to talk up better than that, I think.
I mean, this is nothing here, but
No.
goes like this. I was just telling Willie that was all.
How come that old man's here?
You can't have any
Old
secrets
Sears
from all of us
would,
listening to you.
He says, by God, he says, the first one you strike over, he says, gonna get right over the head. And I guess probably would have too. He was a rough old.
This is Sears. Yeah, that worked on the
Joe,
road.
Just like Sears catalog, huh?
yeah.
No, C-Y,
CYR.
C-Y-E-R.
One before him, I know.
I think it's in that book anyway.
They put the road in up by,
Did you see Winchester or talk with him?
No, I haven't yet. But he lives up in Stanton, but I think he's also pretty knowledgeable about things around Greensboro.
Well, he's,
He
Bernie says he built bridges.
He,
Yeah.
at that time, flood time, he put these bridges in. I
Yeah.
know. He put one in down there. And I think, I'm not positive, but I think he put the one in down at the village too.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm almost sure he put the one in down at the end.
Yeah, well,
He put in quite a few of them at the time, I know.
I kept concentrating on trying to get in town clerk's office, and I was going up last Wednesday to dinner and then stay. He asked me to go north for a little, so I did. So Monday I was going up and do the same thing. Well, of course, Monday the town clerk's office was shut.
I
Well, I
don't
couldn't
know
get
how
hold
you
of it
do
until
all the
Monday.
things you're doing
Yeah.
anyway.
Birthday.
So I'll still try it again.
Before?
Yeah.
I can't.
One? No. One more.
Well, who did it after you? Who did the
Who
roads
did it
after
after I did? It went into a different category then, I guess. I mean, you know, that business was left out, you see, and it went right into, well, it was bid on more, you see, then,
You didn't have a state road commissioner then after you did it.
after I did it.
That was the 35 or so, I think you're from.
Road that bid on.
you? So when were you, what were you, a road commissioner it was called?
Yeah, they
State.
called it the state road commission.
And I didn't even know they
State
had
road-
such a thing.
Regular road commission, the state road commission it was.
And that, when were you that?
Where was I?
When were you the road commissioner?
Oh, that was back in the 30s, first 30s.
32, I think we found out, and we are somewhere around there.
32, 31.
I know he's back in 29.
31.
Are you doing that when we were married?
I
River Road.
We were married in 29.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Yes.
well, then you were road commissioner.
One drunk of it, I can choose.
Well, yeah. Well, that was in 29. We were married in 29.
I graduated in 29. My folks had a Buick, and so we got some of the boys. We thought we'd have our last little fling, so we went up the stage road. I was going faster than I should, I knew. We went up Baker Hill out the top, and Bernie, he was state road commissioner. He just started graveling that morning, on the top of that mountain. No, I'm telling you.
You slowed down?
No, I did eventually. I never comes in there going into some trees and everything. Boy, we were off one. Velma Logan, Clarence Mitchell, Donkey, and myself, I did. Boy, you were rolling down through that, nowadays, fools, ain't trying quite fools hill.
You know George Marshall, George, worked for the mill down there. George Marshall.
Oh, yeah.
He worked for Haynes at it.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Haynes mill business, so got slack there, and they bought that truck.
Yeah, I know.
And George worked on the road throwing gravel, you see.
Yeah.
So Joe DeMars, he did the leveling for me.
Yeah.
And of course, what we did was when we come to gravel road, well, we'd put one load up like this, and lot throw up like this, and then we'd start back here and put the middle one in. Well, there was a couple times that George Marshall, George put him out here. And both times by Cramerston, George, when you come to start, he'd stall his truck.
Yep.
And dump it all right there. Well, of course, George chewed this beech nut. Tobacco nut. His jaws were coming down just like a chipmunk. And Joe DeMars chewed tobacco too. Well, honest. If you could see those two fellows spitting, well, after that, happened 2 or 3 times. By then, he'd planned it on, so always to keep George to dump in the middle. He'd never let him dump because he'd always spoil his shoulder. I'll never forget. That was good.
Well, the boy was level that morning, but it's going quite a little ways, boy. That soft gravel in the morning, the first track through, really.
What were you driving? What were you driving?
Driving Buick. One in the back.
Yeah.
Window. Like, that far up the Newport salesman Bradley, he sold 1, 2,
Yeah.
sold 5
5 Buicks.
Buicks in this area. Oh, well, just right around the village.
Wasn't that a Buick? Must be those were famous at that time, because
Well,
we had an old touring Buick. Yeah, we had a touring Buick with the windshields on the back seat. That was pretty fancy. And you had windshields for the back seat, but the top went down, and you had back windshields that went across the front, then wings. Yeah. Why, that was pretty fancy.
That's like, never saying Dave, Gray, and they had the windows in back. One lives way up on the hill.
And
They used to, what was that?
I know the name of the
Boy,
guy.
that
I
was,
can't think
they
of it.
were
You
seven
still got it.
passenger.
Yeah, and they still got the guy.
Yeah,
It's still one nice old car.
I like that car now. I always liked that car.
Yeah.
We had that for our wedding
That was
trip. We went camping and had all our paraphernalia, tent and all in there.
I remember when you got married, we were out getting the stage fixed up, and we were up in the woods here. We were getting ferns.
Yeah.
We heard the damnedest noise. We looked up, and they was burning. They were just striking ill.
Bernie's father was to blame for that. He called ahead of us If after we had left, he called down to the village and told all the men in the creamery to be out there, we were
Told
going
Robert
to.
Woolley.
Yeah.
Robert was trying to get a bunch together.
And we went so fast, they didn't have a chance to do it.
Jimmy Bell.
You were going right
Jim
forward,
Bell
I'm
skipped
telling
us.
you.
Yeah. Jim
I
Bell
remember
didn't
that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Well,
It's quite a while ago.
Yeah, just about 57.
let's see.
How many cars were in town?
Oh, by then, there'd be a lot of them, by 29.
I
They
guess
came
so.
in at about 18, 9, and 10 in that.
Oh,
They
really?
had the first ones down at the Bend, believe it or not. That seemed to have been the Friday.
George
night. George
Davis.
Davis, and, well, Lewis had said Byron Davis at one time, but he was gonna double check it with Warner's folks, because I didn't find that in any books at the state library. And Collins, then Abner Hill had one. Thought he was the first farmer in
The
town
old
that had one.
steamer, yeah.
I guess he bought his from one of the Bend men, maybe, it was the Stanley steamer.
The first steamer I remember was Aggie McConnell, he was the railroad. He was the top,
Mail carrier, wasn't he?
mail carrier.
Sure.
And he had a
Remember that?
old red steamer.
Benjamin Collin, was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, Aggie McConnell.
He,
He
I remember that because he had the first steamer there, and I can remember that he carried mail there.
I'm working
Then
on
who was that girl that carried mail and she couldn't get through? She'd always horseback.
I've heard of
Oh,
that
she
one.
living back in the lake, yeah.
Yeah, she did.
I can't remember, the name bothering me now.
Well,
Yeah,
that bothers.
Me, I can't.
My wife,
What was her name? It's just she'd go on horseback. She couldn't get through. She'd always. She carried mail a lot on horseback, and she
Now,
couldn't get
talking
through.
about, turn that off for a minute. I don't want you to, but I think you're
But you
getting
got
great.
that on.
Of course you.
Bring me up.
Okay.
We got tea for
For
you.
tea.
And there's tea. We got tea.
That's coffee.
I thought Shetty had it all made.
The tea, I've got a tea bag.
And I don't want anything warm, I thought you just give me a glass of water, it'd be perfect.
Bernie, do you remember
I'm a
when they
big-
started delivering mail? Am I supposed to do something with that cover, I guess not.
Yeah.
I wondered if I had.
Yep.
That's all, I'm a big water boy.
Well, maybe I
Two,
will.
3 quarts a day.
There we are.
I can remember that when what's name carried the mail, that steamer there. That's that's the first I
That's the
can.
first one
That
I
was
can
the
just
one I
down,
remember.
I can just down, I would say
I
that.
want to one run the garage in the village here years ago, he used to carry the mail, he had one of those, forgot the name of the cabinet, it was 1 or 2 cylinder with a chain drive. Not McCann.
Oh, you mean the McCannon?
Yeah,
He used to drive the mail?
yeah, he did for a while.
So I just got a
was
letter from him the other day, of course, I remember that, and I wrote in that I'm trying to get some help on
I was saying how he
on
drove
the telephone.
that little
And
guy, yeah.
I thought it was a match, he says it was I had it pretty all right, and it had chain drive,
Yeah.
and it was wooden axle,
Yeah,
and he had a great big gas, I call it last light, but it's enough thing what he used. So,
Yeah.
and I can just buy that, and it's rather strange.
because he was driving Burlington every year to the show.
Oh, he's been in Browning Free Press quite a few times. His brother has it now, he told me, and,
Where does he live?
that is, boy, that is
As I knew he was.
1911.
I don't know where he is now.
1911.
Yeah.
They were
Where
delivering mail in 1911.
I would say that's when he,
Was that the
was-
first of the mail delivery?
I
Did they
don't know,
deliver with
this
teams
is with
before
the
that?
telephone that I'm working on.
Oh, good.
So, and it's rather strange too, on this, they had Glover, Crashbury, Albany, and Greensboro. You see, the telephone, when it first started out, each town more or less had it.
Yeah.
And when he came back, when he graduated from UVM, he went to Pennsylvania, went to work at General Electric. Then he came back and went down to Massachusetts somewhere and worked for a year or so on motors.
Yeah.
And he got sick of it because he was an outdoor man.
What
So
was
then
his
he came
name?
back here, and that's when he bought the telephone, whatever would make a company out of these 4 towns. so our telephone in this area came through from the north side. Well, he took the dates and everything, and he looked it up, he put calling working on it. I got it on that Friday,
What was his name?
Buchanan.
I thought, I remember sort of hearing
And
the
he was the
name
one
when I
that
was
ran the
young.
garage down here.
Yeah, same one.
Same one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He used to come around every once in a while, because in them days they had
Well-
them big batteries that went in your
You
telephone.
had the garage over there. You're driving by Helen's.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he
That's what
ran
I
that.
mean, yeah.
You ran that
Old building
for
there.
years.
What that building used to be?
Well, that was, shop. I got the picture of it, I got the people that lived there.
That's not one of the carding mills or something, is it? I mean,
Well, it's
something in
changed
there
2-3
somewhere.
times.
Yeah.
Didn't they used to make cheese boxes and stuff like that?
I see the man that did the 3-4 places there, they made cheese boxes.
I remember
And,
that.
I
I
can't
remember the building
I know
vaguely,
it was-
but
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they
Keep
were
my
using-
garden that old.
Oh, he went up and lived in that building, well, it's safe for anybody to go up there.
I know,
Up there,
yeah.
Put in some of these fancy, oh, he loved the outdoors.
Hmm.
Have you
And,
lived there all your life?
Yes,
Born here?
Yeah.
No.
all but 1 year, I guess, that's all.
And how old are you?
76.
Baby.
Yeah, I am.
Young.
Yeah, that's right. I feel all right.
Yeah, that's good.
well, that's
Yeah. Yeah, I was born down the bend. In L.A. Inglewood now.
And Paul Hudger worked for him,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's when Paul, he finally gave up and went back to Vernon. He did come up here 2-3 summers, spent the summer, but he didn't work anymore.
Hmm.
And, then he, Paul, that's when he went and bought that in off and drowned and put up his garage there and on that. And,
Was the Hydra garage in Greensboro, or was it in the Bend?
Both
they were both of them.
brothers.
He had a brother.
John.
Yeah, I remember it in the
runs
Bend,
band.
it was the Tangy garage,
Yeah.
right?
John was better of a mechanic.
Now, you're on the ice subject, and over in Randolph, they went together, and they had quite a big ice house, and they made they call it the Randolph Association.
yeah.
Mr. Howard was the head of it. They had a lot of fun. You'd go through with a suitcase, you should be working for a city. And Mr. Howard, over in Randolph, like almost all the summer folks, men would get together and want to go off and play golf. And the wife would be watching them and says, "See here, before you go that game of golf, we've got to fill that refrigerator." Of course, they didn't like that, so they went down, they got Paul to see if he would deliver
Yeah.
the ice in Randolph. And Charles Cook was working for him too, so Charles, and that's really how they all started the ice around the lake, because then Paul didn't like, when it come fall, and he had no way of cutting ice for the winter. So you taught my father to do it, and we went to do it then. But that's, there it is. No, he had done a lot of work, Mr. Cannon. When he taught there in college, when college was over, he'd get 4 or 5 fellows that he'd ask them if they wouldn't like to rough it, and they'd go up in Mount Mansfield, and he put the trail.
Long trail,
Put the long trail, yeah.
Long
There's a
trail.
Buchanan Lodge up there.
Yeah. And he would work up there for, well, the very last July or so. And he'd come in here and go for the month of August until open up Vernon's garage.
Yeah.
So he was raised in Greensboro, was he born and raised in Greensboro too, or?
No, I think he was up Glover way, I think.
I think, I mean, my mother's being a Glover, I think he came to Glover. but-
Yes, I know he did. Because, and that gives me the interest, he came back, because it's all around and said that's all he wanted of that city life, he was going back to the country. So he came up here, and I would assume that he lived in Galloway, and that's why he bought them all up, and that was his company.
Yeah.
It was Glover, Albany, Crash Street, and Greensboro.
Four.
And I'm going to check right away. I understand that Cabot still is the only town in the state that has their own
phone, yeah.
Phone, telephone, do you know what that's, so?
Yeah,
It comes
it
into
is.
Marshfield too, I think,
Comes
because
into Marshfield.
my sister.
Comes
worked
into
for it
Walden,
a while
too.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes in there.
So,
Quite a
now, when, New England Telephone, eventually, they probably bought them up off these, when they were all put in the section like this one I'm talking about. Sometime along, New England Telephone come in, they probably put them all in one. That's when New England Telephone Company was formed. I don't know that yet, but I'm going to check into it, but it assumes that that would be what happened.
Yeah.
Because I was surprised that, but that's why our telephone came in. It came in from East Crashby into the Greensboro this way. It did come up through, up through telephone and electric, especially electric. No, electric didn't come in. I followed it up and it came up through East Hardwick and the band, on the big routes. And then if anything got to the band, of course, to come up to Greensboro, and got as far as Greensboro, Gene Simpson Street where it went to East Crashby.
Yeah.
But it didn't come up from the bend to the Greensboro Village, did it?
I don't think so. I think it went the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because now
it did.
we're on a different line than the villages.
It's hard to imagine being without a phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did it come in an emergency?
Yeah, but it was awful nice when they got it, because they put 5 or 6 on the same line.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know everybody.
I knew I was.
No, there's a lot of people, and it hurt a lot of them, and, but that was true. I know I checking up, we had 6 on our line.
Yeah, we had,
And that was June.
I
share the
The
time.
first,
Never thought about it afterwards. My mother, we never did.
But we had
Unless
one that
somebody
we
was
could guarantee
sick.
was listening.
The telephone was always the fire serum too.
That's
They ring and it rang and told you the time and weather.
The telephone was when we had our signal, we go down to bed and stay all night and that, look out, we got it on the telephone.
yeah.
And then after that, the church bell rang. And but that was pretty thorough. I had the corner, and that was kind of coming from Hardwick up high out way.
sure, yeah.
I should have had stopped them and just stopped them on the side of the road. Just told them to turn out the light. And there wasn't a light that you could see in this whole area, but just one.
Sure.
And that was up here.
You could see one,
What was it?
you'd seen one that you'd looked. At that time, we was on Cedar Rock, see?
Yeah?
And we had that, building that went out from the barn there. Because I had raised hogs over there.
Oh, yeah.
I had 4 or 5 brood cells.
Sure, yeah.
Then just at that time that's gone by, gosh, if they had those blackouts that my cells were pigging,
Yeah.
what I did, you see, was I hung blankets up to the windows,
Oh, yeah.
because I always stayed out there with them when they
Oh, I
were
did too.
having their little beaks.
Well, I wanted to. They wallets.
I'll never forget that.
Bright as something.
I went down
The
the
boy.
state a couple
Yeah.
They would.
nights and
They
they were
would-
shaggy.
I did too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Paul Mason.
yeah, I was on in that lookout.
Sure, yeah.
Paul Mason.
I did it weekends. I was teaching cars, so I
It'd go by
I
that,
did it
you know, I mean,
weekends.
you don't check him, but,
Yeah.
yeah,
I just wind up 5 or 6, sometimes 8, 10 guys.
yeah.
From my place to the corner, going, you try to go around the corner.
Well, you used to be down to Bend there.
Yeah, I said weekends because I was teaching then, so I had to do it weekends.
Paul Mason, I used to.
No, I only see one, I only heard one guy.
So this was a lookout during the war.
You know, you had a lookout, you telephoned in and just telephoned the place.
Yeah, if you saw any airplanes, any planes.
Yeah.
Where was the lookout?
Well, there's just, as you're going to Bend, just you go down here and all the little white house, it's Mercy is. Well, it's back this way.
On the
You
right
turn
hand
the little
side.
corner, and it's right up the bank, right straight up the bank. I had to shovel in to get up the steps to get up there. And that's where it is, right up on top
But
there.
it's gone now.
I was.
It was there a few years ago,
Yeah,
maybe
a
it's
few
gone
years
now.
ago,
It was there because-
Yeah,
when the
when
kids
I
were
was
growing up.
going
they
the
were
road
out
side,
maybe
yeah.
once, twice.
They did,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was sick out of it. I just thought I pulled out, just went up there. Took me, finally got up, but I didn't know I could slide down before he had his speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Pope was the head.
Or
They
Hazel
had a,
Guile.
had a,
Hazel Guile.
I meant Hazel Guile.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Which-
Hazel Guile.
Was it the-
Yeah, she was the one that, had,
She organized all the volunteers.
big man.
She organized all the volunteers.
I would
Hazel?
assume, yes. Well, they signed up. I never knew they had much
yeah.
trouble getting volunteers.
No.
I quit. Somebody came in, they're supposed to come in at 6, but being on the farm, I came an hour early.
I never went there, and she.
No, I didn't. Well, you were on the farm, we were farming too.
Sure.
I went that weekend, too bad we didn't go
Yeah.
to the city.
Oh, dear.
You were both married by then, were you?
What?
You're both married by then.
I just got married. Yeah, I was married. Cause I know what, yeah.
Were you still in high school while I was teaching then?
Yeah,
I thought so.
you bet. You just left and I had to go around and meet my dad and fellow teachers. It was O'Neill, Marge's wife, Jeffords, and Farrah Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, they taught. She had the elementary,
Yeah.
Hilda had the grades.
Yeah.
And that's when we were just scraping roads. And they got for the barking, but he didn't get everything about dark. And I'll never forget when Andrew really called up my dad and wanted to know if he mind if he come over. Dad said, no, come over anytime. He said, I'll be over about 2 o'clock. You didn't know what was up, boy, it was yelping, you got Andrew really upset, He didn't like this idea. So we come out, and about time we were out there, and we see it coming down the corner. There's a big red truck over the drive from by.
Flat bottom,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
And, went out, he had to wing, he's supposed to wing, but
Yeah,
he was just going to, just making a little fast. Boy, he didn't know anybody was around, and boy, Andrew really jumped up on it, and he went to the door, and boy, they do. He told them if they didn't drop that wing down, we'd go down to, turn right around there and go back to that, they didn't want anything more on.
yeah.
So then they went and got, who was the fellow that done the trucking? Neil went with him.
Avon did a lot of it.
No, this is the fellow that did the mill.
Oh, Dick Thompson had a fellow that scraped the road. I don't know where he came from. In a
No,
great
this is
big
a-
truck.
This is a fellow, he got married here and left. And he's down in the southern part of the state now, and he comes up once in a while.
Oh,
What's
I
his
didn't know
name?
what you were talking
Well, anyway,
about, scraping the road.
he and O'Neill, they scraped the roads that winter summer.
Yeah.
And they used to invite the girls to go with them.
Gosh, they weren't any different then they are now, I
No,
know.
they aren't a bit different. And the hill girl there. Oh, I'm not too sure that, so I'm not gonna say it. But I always kidded O'Neill. Hilda, she speaks about it now. But they've done a better job scraping.
Yeah.
And when they finally go and scraping, it was Pastor Gebbie. He had a pretty good truck and just going into the potato business. And I remember the first time he went down by, he had Everett Hill and Bill and Earl, he had every hill. I think it was Everett started out.
Yeah.
They went down by. Boy, everybody went out to see him. They got a great big hardwood stick, 8x8, and rolled it on.
Yeah,
And they got the, well, you know, Ernie.
Yeah.
Ernie, and they got the lift, the pipe and the lift. And that was controlled. You had to have 2. That was controlled by the fellow that was driving the truck. Well, they done a pretty good job.
Yep. I had him come up my place. And you couldn't find out they wouldn't keep it open. So. Robert was plowing it from this place down through.
Then, of course, they went.
I got up there one
They
day
got
and
the, big,
I almost got stuck, so I
They
called
finally got
Foster,
the
he
big-
came up, called me up.
Oh, boy.
so work with that, that's a big road.
So then,
Do you fellows remember the first airplane that that landed on the lake, that just came to Greensboro?
Well, I can remember when, one of the first, I
Was
know,
Dr.
first
Hyder,
time,
don't
was
you remember?
Luther,
Dr. Hyder.
Dr. Hyder,
Yeah.
he came, and then after he followed it,
His mother was ill,
Yeah.
and he came, landed on the
Oh,
lake,
yeah.
and they came and got
Yeah,
him.
he had a
Oh,
cat.
yeah.
Take care of his
Back in
mother.
the
he
lake,
comes
yeah.
from Connecticut, he was a doctor in Bridgeport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's when my brother
and
took
we
his
all,
internship.
why, the whole school went
Whole
to see
school,
that
yeah.
plane.
Sure.
And then after that, Sidney Stone, the one that built the place up here, he used to come up weekends too.
Were the two planes shot down on the lake a short time ago at your place?
Yeah,
At that
that's
farm?
like us.
And he used to come in.
Yeah, once in a while,
And
yeah.
boy, when we'd see him going, you know, they had them big platoons, especially the Hyder boy, he had a big one.
Yeah.
That thing made a splash and it landed in the puddle over here.
We thought that was something.
When was
We got another on that, in
Yeah.
that
I
airplane.
When was
think
that,
I
in the
liked
40s?
it too.
Well, when would that be?
What?
I was teaching it, what year would that be, do you think?
Oh, my
Could that be,
My son's right.
God.
I was teaching the village,
oh,
but that could have been way back in 30.
35.
I want to say the last of the 30 around the 40.
I think it's around 36.
Uh-huh.
Something through that, because I remember I was working for Robert Way.
Mhm.
I was working in the gym.
Boy, that was a
I
big
worked
day.
13 years for Robert Way.
yeah, yeah.
Before I bought my farm,
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah.
I bought my
Willie
farm
Masse, you know,
at
they said they-
43.
At noontime, you didn't want to be on that road up to this place. Willie, that was before Scraping Road, we were right on the half point of Scraping. Willie used to go up to dinner.
Yeah,
And boy, he used to go through some roads up bad, nobody didn't know how he can get through a horse and sleigh.
Well, I think he had a record for getting over his roads
He
pretty
did.
well later on.
Yeah.
He was doing artificial
That's
insemination.
right. The guy is training there. Is that right, Willie?
Yeah. I remember driving from the farm down and up and down on roller tracks.
Yep.
With my old Dodge.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was froze solid, it rained and it froze. My wife wanted up to see us, so I drove up on the roller track early in the morning before nobody come
Yeah.
down, and I came down late that night, so I wouldn't meet in the team, because I met a team, I wouldn't know what I would have done.
Now, this is on
What's a roller
the
track?
icing too.
Huh?
What is
This
a
is
roll-up
when the
ride?
icing-
From the
they
rollers
just
that
started.
the
The big roller.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Irving asked him if they would scrape up to his place. He didn't even ask the town. He had a Chevy, and he just bought a nice big international truck. Max Diamond drove it for him. And he
So when
had a
we
nice
down the-
garage. So he wanted to get him up at home. So he hired, well, this was way back, he hired these fellows from Blackton, asked them if they could come in here and if they'd scrape over so he could drive in. I guess they thought they could. And so they drove in, but they got in there all when they couldn't do it. They had a heck of a time getting out. So they told her that they'd scrape it for him, but they would want it to go up to Moffitt. The English was behind them and turn around.
Yeah.
And that gave them a street that would be scraped. So next year, that was one winter went by. And the next winter, Irwin thought that he'd see the selectmen, so he'd see how they told him, you know, and asked him if he feels that they could pay half or a little of it. And he says, oh, no, you know, no, you don't want them no scrape roads, but this is a funny part of it. So Irwin scraped it that winter, last 2 winters. But the road wasn't scraped, and the English were buying over to the Four Corners, because Hyder could scrape in the other way. Now they're doing the best they could, but they could, they'd scrape, and they went down our place. Greensboro don't scrape our road now, because they have that, and then they work it in some way over in the Gulf, or somewhere that, you know.
yeah.
If it's bad, and it hasn't got scraped out, Greensboro, I'm not saying that Greensboro wouldn't, but it's always been that way. So that was only scraped, that was scraped from Tolman's Four Corners over, and 2 winters.
And to Moffat.
And you know what happened? Boy, used to burn up my dad, and so we didn't really care, because He didn't drive a car, he didn't, I did. I had my 29 Ford. I used to go play around East Hardwick and keep it in Doofer's old hotel down there. Well, what was coming at? Tallman, he didn't want scraped roads. Boy, he was one of the worst ones against it. But when he had to go to Danville, to his bank meeting, he didn't have to take the old man to two-spoon sleigh and put it down in the village and get Sam, it was a year or two to scrape in the village to stand up to his Christ. So all now he had to do was go from his place over to markets, all that, and Sam would be up there meeting. But he didn't want to scrape roads. Don't that make you?
Well, it's hard to change. That's all, it's just plain hard to change.
Yeah, that's right.
You probably want to pay the tax.
But he was a little bit on that other side, you know.
You mean,
Oh, Mr. Tallman, he was a wonderful farmer, wonderful neighbor too.
Well, he's one of the best select man this town ever had, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Should be bad.
This man never get,
Now get another one.
no.
But Ben, he had,
He, at the time that I had the road work here, we gravelled over through there from the corner over through to his place. We wanted to put a culvert in there, and Hiram and George Davis, and he was the select man.
yeah, they were slick memos.
And, Hiram told me that, I'd never get a culvert in there. So, because he says, Hiram, Tallman doesn't want water road running on his field. Well, Hiram says, I just don't have it, because, you know, the enforcers, by going along, making manure, why they just don't have that water works onto the fields like that. But no, Tallman didn't want it, and they'd never been able to get the culvert in there. So, I want one in that the worst way, because it was a bad place. It was over, about part way over there, I mean, you know. So I went over and I talked to the alley, visited with him after quite a little while. And we walked out there and I showed him that part I wanted to put it in and everything. We talked to him before we got done, by golly, he told me, he said, you go ahead and put that culvert in right how you want it. He said,
I don't know if he'd have any advantage of it, but I bet he got for a while, and some other one way to it, and you wouldn't get it.
I don't know, look, I had the selectmen at that time that I had to work under. You wouldn't ask for a better bunch of men. There was Wilson, Ellie Tallman, and Andrew Woolley, and Hiram Calwood, and George Davis,
I know.
and who was somebody else?
I remember Bernie telling me, he was in his 20s then.
No.
And,
No, I think Esden was at one time.
I don't mean Aston, the one I used to have the feast store.
Oh, Amsterdam,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No, he never,
No, he never was-
he's never in town.
Never done I know.
Oh, I know, I'll
No.
get him mixed up.
Bernie,
Yeah.
tell him about Calwood telling you that you couldn't satisfy everyone. Who was it? Somebody was complaining and you went to, I mean, Bernie was young and he went to Calwood, you know, and told him that, I don't know who was, you tell it, because I don't remember, but I remember, you always remembered what he said. That you couldn't satisfy everyone. You satisfy yourself.
Oh,
Yes,
And not,
that's
and,
Yeah.
and,
Oh, yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Something about the road.
it was something bothered
He
Bernie,
told
and he
me.
went to Calwood about it, and he says,
I generally went to him, and he'd take it up the other two, but I always been done on him.
Yeah, Mr. Tallman.
I
he
you
was,
fellas ever knew him.
But that's what he done, you
He
know.
was,
He spent
because
most
way
of
back there, at one time, of course, this was before we came here. They claimed that Hiram Calwood and John Barrington were running for representatives of Montpelier.
Yeah.
And up here to, where Hiram lived there, you take it up that brook there, there used to be a dam there where they sawed lumber. Well, Hiram's father had a sawmill. Well, of course then, one of the things that John Barrington brought up, and my dad said it never happened in the world. John Barrington claimed that Hiram Calwood was his father at that farm.
doing things like that.
They had the dirty tricks.
But, you know, we got along, never had no trouble.
Yeah.
But he was, people that bought automobiles way back then. He'd go down, well, he knew anyway. He knew, that's one thing I was telling him, one of them on. He'd go down, he was in that town clerk's office down there in Archer, when he was in Archer. You could find him down there 3 days out of the week in the afternoon. And all he was doing was going through books. He'd figure out the mortgage and how much they'd shrunk it, and so this and that. And if it wasn't just right, he'd tell you. Well, folks got to buying cars, you know. And he would take attitude on, he'd go right to him and says, well, he says, you never should have done that. He says, you know, he says, I'm gonna watch that pretty close now. And he'd bite when he put that little cat down over his nose and bit his lip. And he knew.
Yeah.
He knew everything. But there's one thing in my dad, I never, there's in the paper there, wrote up that he and my father did trouble, like, they weren't on speaking terms. There's no time he went on speaking terms. But there is one thing that he really slipped up on. Over in the Gulf, Babcock worked in Gullia down East Haddock. That's where the big yellow barn is and everything.
Yeah.
And of course they knew where there was property, and Babcock went up there in the Gulf, about midway somewhere, and he bought a house and some land, and upon the knoll, quite a lot of timber. Nice timber too. And so of course Dad was school director, and he was thinking about that. So Mr. Babcock drove up there. He says, I bought a little field, a farm up in there. And he says, I know you're thinking it's going to be costly to the town here on transporting school kids. He says, if you'll be leaning on your prices on my land, he says, I'll see to it that there's never a family in there with children. So I went along, and I know my dad priced it one time, raised it up a little, I think it come to $15, $22 or something. He was all right about it. He had to do a little, because he had a beautiful stand in school. So Mr. Tallman, he was Lister, and went over, and Dad was just school director then. And Tallman went over, and boy, he jumped that up. I see it in the record of my dad's diary. I think it was $60-some odd. And Mr. Woodsman found Babcock come up. He says, Tiny, he says, got to have a, he says, that's a little bit steep. He says, I'll be willing to go half. So Dad went up to see Mr. Tallman. And he told him just what way to bend and everything. And he says, you're a school director. He says, I'm a lister. And he says, I'm going to have it as I see it. So he did. So he put the fellow up there. Oh, what was his name? He sold used car parts. He lived in the shack. What was his name?
Yeah,
Made heart attack the other while.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know who you mean.
Lived down the Gulf. Yeah, I know, because
Well-
I had a hang of a time getting taxes in.
Yeah, well, I just followed the young with him. And then Ben was carrying, well, the first year, there's the kids, so they took him to Hadrick. And that was all right, because they said, the village said if they take that kid, that they let the kids go down there. Well, Hadrick never put a band on it. I don't know why they did for years and years, and all right kids come from East Hadrick and all around. Finally, they put the band on, just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so when they put the band on, boy, they had to do something different. So the school board had to go over and make arrangements for him to carry his scholars, and they had to come over here. Of course, they grew up by the Alston up the town hill and come. And he lived there for 4 or 5 years and carried the scholars.
Okay.
And it cost this town anywhere from
That's been a,
$900 to $1,200
I
a year for transportation, just on $35 worth of tax.
yep.
But he had his way, then I got to hand it to him.
It's been a nice sort of that business down there.
I can't remember the name of that.
Transporting
I
kids,
had-
that's been nice.
I was teaching
Well,
them, I had those children
Oh,
in
yeah,
school,
I
I
was
believe.
thinking
Those kids were in there when I was on the
See, he was Millie Gage's brother.
Who?
Miss Babcock. He was Millie Gage's
Which was his first name?
father.
Clyde?
Clyde Babcock?
No, Clyde, no.
No,
that's
No,
not
take
Clyde.
Clyde back.
No, take Clyde, he's the one that had the, gravel pit.
Mullen,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, she was related to him, John Clyde then.
Yeah.
That's what come to mind, cause it goes even with the gravel pits. But that was one time, boy, you take that and add that, then finally had a heart attack and they all moved out, I don't know nothing about it. Of course, now we get them living. But that was once, $35 again. I look at it one once in a while. Can report anywhere from 9, I think the most is 1,200 and something a year. But that's what he lived on.
Yeah.
So we always.
He's a hard time to get taxes, pay me lose.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I go, he gives me.
Well, he
a
didn't
little-
really have it. I think he had 6 kids and all he done was,
No, of course, he didn't have it on the land.
no, he was telling Papa when he come.
I
But
would
you
have
have
that
to take it
all
off
time.
your books, the same thing doing now. Yeah, it's getting worse.
I think I took, I remember getting a wheel once for
Farmers, I
a
get.
trailer,
getting it
one
now.
of the tires I took, I mean, you know, for loudons.
You didn't take any birds or anything for
Oh, he-
taxes, did
No,
you?
I never took any bird.
He owed me $3 when he burned out, and I paid how much the bill paid, and I give it, took it out of my own pocket. My
You let
God,
it
yeah.
go.
I don't need to try to teach a bit at these places.
So I get to tell quite a few more stories.
Yeah.
You didn't take any birds or anything for
Oh, he-
taxes, did
No,
you?
I never took any bird.
He owed me $3 when he burned out, and I paid how much the bill paid, and I give it, took it out of my own pocket. My
You
God,
let it
yeah.
go.
I don't need to try to teach a bit at these places.
So I get to tell quite a few more stories.
Yeah.
We haven't cut any ice yet, though.
No, I was just gonna
Well,
say
I'm just
that. I didn't wanna break the
If we're gonna
thought.
have an evening there, we don't get going pretty quick.
Look at that window, see that?
Yeah, I watch it. I've been watching it night long.
That's it.
Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Well, what do you wanna know about the ice business?
Yeah.
Guess
I
I wanna
can't tell
know
you
right from the
much.
start how they did it, don't you?
Well, they had an old Model T Ford engine hit to a pair of runners. And it had a iron that came out with like a corn plant. Knocked like it in the crack they just saw before, so you wouldn't.
So you'd have some straight cakes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He drove this way for Irving, he didn't get one.
I got that sit down. I was working there and they went to Georgia, I think. You see what happened, really, to get back from that. And the ice business, the old ones was, used to cut around, the farmers would get together and cut their own. Mr. Brown was one of the big name cutters at that time. You know, there's Ethan Hartz and Homer Hartz and
Was that
No,
before,
that was before Irving. That was Irving.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is way back.
So
And I have it in the diary that, 1918 last. My dad wrote and said, Mr. Drown called up and said that we were to get our ice tomorrow. And, he really, he cut the most.
what
ice.
month was that in your
That was
diary?
in January.
In January. So you started
Well,
cutting
then,
in
you
January.
see, he was running the mill.
Yeah.
And then the Boston Board of Health, after he hired everybody, but boy, he couldn't cut ice fast enough. He had to do something. Why the teams would be lined right up there. Now you had Walden, Hardwick, East Hardwick, Crash Spring, Stannard, all around it. Every farmer was getting their ice off there because they had to put up their ice to keep their milk. The milk was only to be 40. And, well, they couldn't do it so on. Tony Klitsch was
Yeah,
he was a great, quite a guy. Tony, everybody got a little disgusted with him because he was the one that brought up all
I did too.
the voters for Irving Howe as a whole. He was lots and lots of days, you know, was all right. But I would have been just as straight.
Yeah.
But Trish would bring that up to him every single morning.
Joel,
And they'd go in that little hot place and Irving get to drinking, and by about 3:30, John the plant would have to put him on the wagon and take him up to his house.
Yeah.
Now
I worked down there, 2 years. 2 solid years on the ice.
Yeah.
I never see Irvin Hall drunk once.
Yeah.
They had liquor. There was liquor in the little shanty we had there where we ate at dinner.
Yeah,
Because Al LeBrun, I say Al LeBrun,
Yeah.
had just as much to do with that ice business as Irvin Hall
yeah,
did.
he did.
Because he see to the
Yeah.
packet and like that.
Oh, yeah, that's how I worked.
And,
I'm as Irving.
That time that, well, we scrape off a chunk, you know.
I know,
You have to light it up.
sure.
Well, Al was holding the scraper. And we were scraping it off, and of course, you know, going through the scraper wipe was leaving, you know.
Yeah,
And I was walking along through there, oh my gosh, all at once I went right down. Right up here I was. Al, he yelled at the horses, you know, and I hung on the reins and pulled it out. Well,
and that
They,
time,
took me over there to the shanty and they stripped the clothes right off. And they had that little round stove there.
I know.
Filled it up
Yeah.
with slabs there.
And that was the time that
And
Irwin
put me in there and they
And Tony
drove the
Clash.
clothes off there and
and
Al had a bottle of
Irvin
liquor.
Hall.
He gave me a shot of it.
They went to
No, I
Georgia.
never took any liquor before that.
I don't know
My
how they
friends never had.
got into it, but they went to Georgia and they
Get
see
sick of
this
them.
rig that you were talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
And
I
they,
never caught a bit of cold.
They got the idea and
Judgment
the
pulled down,
friends-
went right back up.
and they came up to Guy Hall, and Guy Hall made the running frame, and as you say, they got the motor.
Yeah.
And they worked right along, Twitch even worked with them. And they kept that going, and when they did, boy, that was the greatest machine, boy, did that work swell.
Joe Levitt, we
So-
care all the time too.
So, then, boy, they could cut the ice,
Oh, boy, I
they could cut all the ice you wanted, and it was a beautiful working rig. But that's why it came about, Irving.
Yeah.
Trucks and the farmers got to putting up that ice.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, then it went along for quite a few years, and, farmers would be out haying, you know, and they'd come in tired, and they would go into the house, and they'd pick up that cover. They'd say, well, I guess that ice will hold on till morning or so.
Yeah.
Well, then you know what happened, it didn't. So the Boston.
I'm not fussy, I just-
It's all right now.
You're afraid
So-
of getting fat, Paul.
So then the Boston Board of Health come around and it wasn't 40. It wasn't getting 40 in a lot of places. So then, in order to sell milk, you had to have an electric unit put in.
Yeah.
And that's when they put the ice house, a lot of the ice into the band. They had a big ice house right
Yeah.
in the middle of the fire potato store.
Yeah, it belonged to
Yeah,
the railroad.
great store.
2 of them down there.
Two of them.
Yeah, I guess it was.
And,
Great.
they had to take, pull it together, the milk, they go and throw on some cakes of ice, they chop it all up amongst the cans, oh how the truck drivers ate it, and they made the company bought some great big canvases that went over them big trucks, and they were that thick. And they go out and get the milk, and that's keep it canvassed up and everything. So your ice business, was more or less, gauged by, at that point, by milk business.
Oh, yeah.
That was all it was, really.
But of course, the summer people were using the ice too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that's
Well, you
what-
didn't have refrigeration then, did you?
No.
I mean,
No,
all the
They
homes
had
had to
just
have.
the old refrigerators.
Yeah.
Oh, refrigeration.
Because at that time, when I was working there, we'd, well, you take it on this end, you know, Mitchell's in there.
Yeah.
It'd take us a day to fill the ice houses down here up on this end. We'd always come up
Yeah.
and fill one day.
Where was it?
Where was it? Well, all the ice houses.
Yeah,
the
but
little
I mean-
ones.
Where were the little ones around the lake?
All around, there was Coolidge's and Mitchell's and,
Jennings.
Watchman's
Yeah.
down there and
Jennings used to
Armstrong's
put a lot
and
of
all
ice.
of those too. there.
Wasn't it Jennings, wasn't a big ice house at
Well, the
Jennings?
Yeah.
Jennings,
That wasn't
was
until
the
afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah, I said,
Well, I went down there for that creek.
Just outside of Black
Village,
Point
yeah.
there.
Boy,
It generally
took a lot
take
of
us,
ice.
so probably put there 2 weeks to fill that
But
in
you
there, and
see-
then they'd fill the ice, the small ones around there too. There.
You see, in the creamy, you had the creamy had one even after, and then it got wild that went out.
Yeah,
So Irwin knew that was his big ice days were over, so he sold out to John LaPlante. John LaPlante took it, and
Yeah.
when we finished our ice route around the lake, John LaPlante took it, and then he went for a year or two, and then Furlon's run it. But they only went 2 days a week and what?
Did each farmer fill his own?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
they
said,
had
Mr. Drown
Yeah.
called up. And I should imagine,
The railroad used to have a very big house.
I should imagine probably that he took on Mr. Jackson, that's why, well,
And then they had
Robert Wilson.
the big one there, the messes there in the village there.
Yeah, village.
Before he filled that one.
Yeah.
He had Archie Kerberson.
How much would those cakes weigh?
Oh my
I don't
God.
know.
They were double cakes.
Yeah,
Not 3 one way and 32 the other way. The ones who dropped the bend there and you
they were
had to draw.
what, 32
Yeah,
by
but
what?
when you filled your small ice houses, like
32
around
by
your
16.
You
leg,
take half a
you
cake,
take half a cake, they were
half of the big ones there.
16 by 16 about.
Yeah.
But,
30.
So the double
the
cakes
big
were
ones,
32.
To get your
The double cakes were 32
day's
by
pay
16.
drop to the bend there, you had to draw, you had to go to work and draw, you see, that'd be 25, you had to make 25 to a load, you see. You had to draw 50 cakes, you had to
They'd
make
draw
5
50 cakes, and we made 3 trips and got $5 a day.
Well, you got so much cake. You got so much,
3
cake.
trips to bend, I never made 3.
I did.
Made 2 trips, all
Yeah.
I could ever make.
You
At
got,
that time, there was Alpha Gebbie, there was Linville Brown, there was Patch, East Hardwick, and there was Clarinet, there was Ingles team, and there was my own, and there was Lumsden up there that drawed.
We always had a nice bin full of ice. There must have been quite a haul, but since you're
Early
up there,
years
one
of
load
haul.
a day must be.
I know my dad did too.
This is the time, and then the next, oh, we made 3 trips.
And you did this with the sled? Down to
sled,
the
horses
bend?
and sleigh, yeah.
When I was on there, 2 years.
The wagon she drove.
Did you fill up all
Right,
the
right,
ice
because-
houses on the lake during the
I know
summer?
that was one of my dad's.
From the big
fixed
storage
the only time he
places,
does
or
it.
No,
in the
no,
winter?
they filled them.
He had
in the
to
winter.
find that
He
in the
said it
winter.
took a day to fill the ones
They
on
came
this
to me
end, the
one by
Coolidges,
one,
the
yeah.
Armstrongs and so forth.
I remember that
They
the time when
save a
early-
day to fill
They,
those.
fellas came to fill the ice house or not. But they came and wanted to know if I wanted to draw, and so I
Everybody
went
had
home.
to
I
have
said,
ice,
well,
there
I'd
was no
like to.
electricity, you see.
I know I can, so I
Yeah.
went and see my dad.
Everyone had a
I
ice
told him I'd
box.
like to draw one, he said, it's gonna make an awful day, but if you wanna do it, he said, we'll go 50-50. So I spoke to
That was
Rupert
nice,
Pete.
because you could always
He
have
was
ice
going
cream every
Yeah.
weekend, you had
And he
ice
used to
cream,
come
homemade
down,
ice cream.
Pitch my hair out,
Because you
he's
had
a
the
horse,
ice,
he's
yeah.
a dad.
Yeah.
And it would be dark, many,
And you
many
lived on a
nights.
farm, you had the milk and the cream too,
Get
and
around
the
the,
eggs.
I
the
drew
bend
one,
in the village.
I drew one.
They worked hard,
all
and
up
I
to
guess that's
standard.
why they didn't get so fat.
Big
People do now,
And,
you know, it was hard work, everything was by hand.
They, we'd start out at dark, cause when the trips we had to make, they had the ice all ready for us at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And cause I know one time I spilled part of the lawn, and I worked through my dinner, went back up the lake, and put it on, and I remember it was dark, and the teams were ahead of me, it was dark down at the bend when we were unloading. Now the room, he hollered out, "Them are they ever gonna stop?" He says that. And somebody said, "Well, John Allen's back here." And the Lord, and boy, did I get a look at him. Didn't ever happen again like that? He said, "You just make your one load and go home."
I lost part of the
Well, not on the corner, just before you went into the bridge down there, Lord.
At that time, you take it, I remember Patch did, and, I don't know, who was it there? Alfie Gebbie, Andrew, what's the name did, Linville Brown did, and Monkston run the sleds. And,
You know what
I
rocks
think-
and running sleds are?
well, the runner, the iron part is a little narrow like that, but it goes up like that, you see, the runner, so it doesn't sink down into the snow. You take a 3-beam sled with the runner, it's narrow like that, it'll sink right down in, you see. Makes it go hard. Well, I remember was going down through there, and that was the last of the drawing into March there. Bare ground all the way, so down the hill. And I can't think whether it was else to give you a patch ahead of me. Anyway, to 3 beams, Monks and Runners Sled. Right there by the Catholic Church was this culvert. They turned that, went onto that, don't you know, keep on to snow. Well, I thought sure I could do it too, because I had 3 beam sleds. Good sleds too, and I did. boy, I hit into that culvert and away that ice went. Right on some rubbish there. And just as that happened, clarinet, well, I don't know whether you fellows know clarinet.
Oh, yeah, worked in the bank.
Huh? No, he worked for Will Ingalls. He never worked in any bank.
No, he doesn't.
God knows.
Yeah.
No, oh, no.
No, he never did.
Same name.
Anyway, he stopped right there. He says, "Oh God, Bernie," he said, "you stay right there. Don't you move those horses at all." He says, "And I'll turn right around on Hicks and hit right onto you just quick as I on Lud." He went down on Lud and came back on Hicks's horses. He was on ahead of me, don't you know? Away we went. I'll never forget that. You know, I'm sure after that.
Well, there used to be a lot of those kiss me, we called them kiss me quicks, you know,
Oh, they
so
were
that,
sharp.
if you didn't
Oh,
go
my
get,
God,
you know
yeah.
what those are?
Cradle hole.
Yeah, cradle
They
holes.
was hefty.
Well, when they was
Shovel
drawing
them
the
out.
ice, that's
Cut 'em
who used
out.
to have it. The
That's
town
when
used
people
to have
get
a,
stuck in them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the town had a man shoveling from Tallman's Woods out to the Four Corners.
Yeah.
Filling them holes up.
And that would be hard with a team, wouldn't it? I mean, it's.
Oh,
They had to
well,
down the
well,
band, they had to go, they cut them out.
Cut them out. They used to cut them out.
They had a sled too, fixed right, it was, with big blades on it.
Yeah,
You remember?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That
they
they
used to use
used
it in
to.
the spring of the
Yeah,
year.
they cut the
Run the
Ridges and
ridge down, I mean, you know, where their sled went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those, I didn't see one of those.
Last time.
We kids used to like those.
Yeah, for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have.
Go fast and-
When we went to church, we'd always have, this one horse would really jump into every one of them.
Yeah.
I used to have a horse, but
Take
the
off.
son of a gun, he'd jump him. He wouldn't
Yeah.
walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took him out for a ride now.
Well, they had some bad ones over down there. All them big teams were drawing ice.
Now, this was all done by hand, wasn't it? This, taking the ice out of the water, I mean, getting it? No, what did you do?
They had a
Elevator.
Oh, you had a,
endless chain there
Oh.
with the motor on it. I took it right
oh,
there.
and you put them up on that.
It's like an elevator, like a hay elevator type.
How did you get them up onto the chain?
Right down the water.
Right
Oh,
on the
just-
water.
Yeah, you just
Yeah, but
push
you
it.
must have to poke them or something.
Oh,
You
Ice
keep
bucket.
pushing.
Ice,
I got that.
Oh,
ice
I
hog.
suckers.
And they bring them right up
I
to
wish
the
we had
edge of
pictures
the
of
bank
that.
and
It's
then
hard to
cut.
understand just
Sometimes
why they
somebody
did that.
had
The same
I
lane.
think so, somebody.
Well,
you
they have.
loaded.
I seen one this morning. She's going to try and get it, but she
Who
went
got it?
on the lot. She went and get out of her pocketbook she had for years and years, and she glued it in and couldn't get it out.
Who is this?
Colin Lyle.
Oh,
It's the only picture that I can find. I called up the girls and I called up Stella the other night, and she just kind of laughed. You don't realize it. Well, she said, John, she said, we were just little girls.
well, sure.
Go ahead.
I hadn't thought when I called,
Oh, yeah.
but it's funny, but what wonderful pictures they could have been. This is the only picture I've been to 6 people trying to get pictures. The only picture I see on the line, I've asked her and she said she would look. Because I think it means so much to get
Yeah.
pictures.
Well, now I don't understand how you got the cakes. You came up there, did you, back your sleds
Yeah.
underneath the
Platform.
thing?
Platform there, right there.
Platform.
Yeah.
Put
And,
them right on.
You had to be careful and grab all of them out of there, unless they push them right out the platform.
Right
Or
on
they
the
come
platform.
up faster than you
But
can
yeah.
pull them. Oh, yeah.
After you got it
did you
started
get
this
that?
way.
Did you have to have special clothing?
No,
No.
no. After
Well,
you
George
started,
said the other day, they sent him home to get wool overalls on.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right, yes,
First
yes.
day I went down, I remember I had cotton overalls on.
Yeah.
You know, cotton band.
No, I had to
Hell,
roll.
says, by God, she says, you tell your folks to get you some wool in overalls. Well, I did. And that was the thing. I mean, you know it.
I always wore wool.
Oh, yeah.
You're going down
and
there.
I thought.
Well,
Right,
20
there
below, there was 20 below many
I
times.
don't
when
know,
we worked on
down
the
through
ice.
that 20 below in the morning, you know.
With the wind blowing.
Well,
What
really,
the
when you saw
chill
the
must have
long
been,
way, like that,
wind
Yeah,
chill.
nowadays a lot
that's
of
what you
things-
saw at first.
Nobody
Then
thought
you
they
went
better.
going crossway,
Yeah.
and you didn't saw, I can't quite remember, when you saw the long way, or both, you didn't go clear to the bottom.
Oh, no.
You left
no,
about
no.
an inch or so.
Oh, no, yeah. Depending on how thick
Then-
the ice was. Yeah.
Then when you went to go crossways, we used to put the tanks in, drive in them wooden pegs so the water wouldn't
Run into it.
run in
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Well, then when you went to cut it this way, you would cut the width, say, maybe 4 or 6 cakes, and make a big piece and float that over to the edge where you've been cutting, and then you could take and hit here and hit there. When you break, and then I said right along, when you used to go to dances, I heard you many, many times. Saturday night, you danced till you heard the roosters crowing, then you figured it was time to come home. Well, I said, I was just becoming of age, well, I was of age the last time. But now I said, I'm going over to that dance over there, and I said, I'm going to stay till 1 o'clock. I said, I'm going to come home. But I said, you don't want to expect to see me probably till around 2 o'clock. Now I said, I'm going to do it, and that's that. And that's how I go, and started over. And finally, when I didn't say much of anything, so I came home. And I stayed over at 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
They didn't have much, but they didn't like it.
all remembered old Dave Spear, you know,
That was a clock I want.
and he used to have a little holler over his backyard, my kitchen, I mean, that's woodshed. And just saying with,
We have a wall in there that's,
oh, Walden's,
on
The
the,
hotel line.
yeah, that floor
right
used to.
there, yeah, and down the bend, there used to be down there,
Yeah.
good dances down there to the, well, the hotel used to be there, they had a hall there.
We used to, they come in our home.
I'd
take
like to
the
know how
stove
many
right out.
dances that Arthur Brown and I used to go to. Oh my gosh.
Well, I didn't go
Dorothy.
many.
I bet
Was
you,
dancing,
that fella and I would do dances.
in the church, was dancing frowned upon? In
At that
those,
time?
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but did you come home at 12 o'clock on Saturday night?
No, I didn't.
No, I meant, did you stop dancing? Didn't they, as I remember, you
Oh,
stopped
right.
dancing at 12 o'clock.
I think
That's
so,
right.
yeah, I think they
You
did.
did.
Yeah.
That's not
No,
too far.
yeah.
And another thing you didn't do was play cards
Well,
on
no,
Sunday.
but I mean,
No.
No, you never
They
played
did.
cards on Sunday.
It was right down this town, they probably stopped at 12 o'clock, and we broke it up to Albany, up the creek. And there was about 6 couples. My dad used to say, always used to go up that. Healthy, Gebbie,
Yeah.
you feel?
But what I was wondering was,
They didn't stop
what
at
did the
12
church,
o'clock.
how did the church
Well,
feel at that time? As
Well-
I remember it, they frowned upon anything on Sunday after 12 o'clock.
well,
right?
oh, yes, yes,
And
they did.
playing cards and,
Of course they did.
I
My
remember
dad
the
was big in
Gibbons
the
to
church,
the
probably
radio
that
on
time, didn't
Sunday.
think much of
so
it.
they couldn't,
no.
yeah,
the
it was
Gibbons
very
family.
strict. The church really
Oh,
ruled
yeah,
them.
we couldn't have done. They couldn't even play cards.
No, you couldn't play
They
cards
were
on
young,
Sunday.
could never play cards up here.
No, sir.
And then lately, after he got married, boy, that's all he did, play cards and go to the dances. What a great time he and his wife had.
Sure.
I wonder when that changed. Because when I was growing up, as I remember it, it was very strict. The
Oh,
church
well,
was very strict. And
I couldn't even go sliding on the cross Sunday, and I couldn't go swimming. I couldn't go to a baseball game.
No,
No,
nobody did. They didn't have baseball games on Sunday, did they?
Yes,
Yes.
they did.
They
yes.
did?
Come on.
Henry Allen had the band down here at the team. He, team from the band. There was fellas in it from Standard. This is another thing kind of amuses me too. And they had Srinath down here at the village, his brother. I can't remember his name now, but he moved and he went up to Newport.
Jerry.
Jerry. And he was a gifted pitcher. There was 2-3 years here, they trimmed everything. He went up to Barton Fair and played up there. And you know why they used to go down and play and have the play up? But down where Morris Teresia has that nice piece of corn right beside the road. That's where they had to go. That's why they played back baseball and practice and,
Well, I bet you
had
were-
their games down there.
You were considered sinners if you went to them. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, oh yes, you
You
were.
were.
You
Well,
were.
you
Pretty
know, the
bad.
time we built our barn over here at Cedar Rock, that time we built the barn over there.
No.
We thought we'd try to earn a little money with it. I mean, you know. So we went to the first dance we had.
What?
We gave it to the Red Cross.
I
Yeah, I remember.
And gosh, it was quite a lot, over $100.
I
we got.
did.
And then the next one,
That was a lot for those days.
I forget what cross it took the Red Cross to some other charity we gave for it. And then the next one, I kept it and bought a halo.
Yeah.
And then the next one, we bought a side delivery rate. And then we had another one, but it didn't pan out so good, and that was the last one.
That was the summer when the summer
Yeah.
people were there and
Yeah,
the young
remember.
people
We
came.
quit then and put the hay in the barn.
Once or twice.
We did,
Everybody was building a barn, they'd always.
They'd always have
They were one
barn
barn
hands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's had them all that for 2-3 years.
Oh,
You rented
had a
the
barn.
Coleman's barn, keep the hay in.
Yeah.
No, my folks,
Sure we did.
boy, they were strict. But our dad always won on Sunday morning. He said, well, you go to church and Sunday school, and he said, I'll let you slide a little when you get home. Well, it cost like every weekend. Fight is when you have your storm, you know, weekend. From Sunday morning, sure enough, in the spring of the year down that way, across the whole Highway 8 and go. The time we went to church, late, well, in Sunday school, the time we went out back to the house, going across, the crust was all gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. I did.
Well, it seems to me I remember about the Campbells over here, people talking about how they had just, all they could do was read the Bible on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
At the Campbells, that was
We
all
went
they
on
were
it
allowed to do.
We went on a church drive, Alfie gave me an eye one Sunday, and this was very, just recently. No, you know, they were up there, but they didn't like it a little bit. 'Cause we came
And the
in there.
thing is,
And they
they
wouldn't
didn't
sign the
even,
card, but they signed it, so they gave it to us. They dropped it on the Monday. And talking about Mr. Rutledge up in there,
Yeah.
they were, you didn't do
Yeah,
much Sundays.
well, you didn't even chores, you didn't do any extra chores
No,
either. You
well,
wouldn't clean out the cat pens
that's
or
right.
anything else. You did
Well,
that before Sunday.
One Sunday,
You only
we
fit
all
it.
used to plan to go up Sundays up to my dad's folks, that's
You
where they
could
lived.
visit,
Up
huh?
in back, no, they weren't that strict, but in back in Lewis Hill. And my dad had got some pigs. Mr. Rutledge was a great man. He raised everything, he raised it, just tops. So my dad spoke to us a couple of pigs. We were up there, and Dad had a thing, he said, well, he says, we're up here, he says, I don't know, but he says, I think I'll call him up, and you boys, or just little boys, he says, I think we'll go up across and bring out the pigs. So we called him up, and he was kind of cool, yes, he says, you can come up and look at him, so, well, I said, yes, he says, you come along, Barney. So we went up, and got up pigs, and each of them in the bag. We had quite a ways to lug them, boy, I'll never forget that, that's was yesterday. Dad went, you know, offered to pay for them, he says, no, Barney, he says, you wait till some other time, he said, maybe the first of the week.
Yeah.
Imagine being that
Oh, yeah.
strict compared to what it is today. I mean, nobody pays much attention. You do whatever you want to do on Sunday today. But
Well, as Helen and Willie, I know when the girls were graduating in the high school, the girls were going on to Eden Lake. They had a camp. Some of them knew somebody over there, so they got the camp. And Helen all at once couldn't go. And she said her father wouldn't let her go. So Raymond Dupin Falls went in, and the only reason he didn't want her to go because he knew that she was swimming on Sunday. Oh, same with me, I can go swimming on Sunday. My folks wouldn't.
how we get onto this subject?
I don't know.
Interesting, anyway,
Just a good old.
because it's different.
Well, the ice business has gone to pot anyway, it's all
Yeah.
mechanical.
Going to pot, right. A lot of things going to pot. There's a lot of things,
But I
boy.
remember.
Going to pot before this world straightens out, I tell you that. I am awful glad I've seen the best times and say
Same
what you
here.
mind. Well, that's what I'm looking at.
That's what I'm looking at.
I know you folks think I'm crazy, but
No,
you
no.
can think so if you want to, but I've seen the best times.
I'm
Well, just wait and see. You're
You've
you're
seen
gonna
the
find a
probably
lot
more
of trouble
change
before this
than
country
most
gets on
anyone
its
else.
feet.
I've never gonna get on its feet,
A
Ernie.
lot of, it will in time, but it's gonna take an
No.
awful long time
No,
before
it
it
ain't,
does.
it ain't.
I think.
You won't live in the family.
It's,
No, the
What's that?
farmers. The farmers
You
are
are
all
living
gone.
farmers are going to the deuce with it.
Cause Leo just wanted, just what.
In the paper today,
He
there's
does
a
want to
fellow
look
in
at it.
Norwell killed himself, shot himself.
Push you on
You
this
know,
Farmer
farm
in
sold
Orwell.
out. On
Print
this
yesterday,
farm
but I
sold
printed
out,
Asia.
you know, they're
But he
buying
wasn't,
government.
it wasn't,
Well,
he wasn't
well,
going
we-
to for bankruptcy, I don't know, he just.
He wasn't going,
You got a bid,
He
what
wasn't.
you,
Yeah.
like you made
No.
for the last
He
2
So why
years.
did
Yeah.
he
it
do
had
it?
to change
Well,
from
when you
cows
get
to
there-
raising pigs.
Well, his
About
pigs
50
were
gallons
eating,
a gallon.
they got disease,
But
and
his
he
health-
got
You got
his
to
health
for the
was
damn
bad.
money, you get your
Yeah.
money.
And if
for
your
it.
health's bad,
Willie,
things like that work on you.
do you know
lose
what's gonna
control of
happen maybe
yourself.
in that 5 years?
You know, milk be coming out of them,
Sure.
yeah.
That's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
So you,
Milk.
yeah, in 5 years, you really don't know what's gonna
That's what
happen.
I was telling you.
I don't know. I think if I had a farm, I'd stick by it. I
That's
really
what I
do.
told you, I said, why don't you wait
If he's,
wait till they're gonna buy, somebody's gonna sell,
sure.
so the milk might come up.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying
Well,
to tell him, you know, you gotta
And
have it.
financially, if he's able to hold on, you know, not have to go to work and borrow too much money and like that, I don't know. A young fella, I think he'd better hold on.
Yeah.
I really do.
Because
It's,
Yeah, I do.
you
Yeah,
take it
but-
You know
down.
how we got started in farming, bought a farm, how we did it? Bernie's father took out an insurance policy of what, $1,000?
60, yeah,
When he was 18,
60.
60, he did it for all his children. And, so by the time Bernie was 26, I believe, when we were married.
When we come 21, we had bigger.
Yeah, when he came 21, they had to pay, each boy had to pay for their own. I guess he didn't take out one for credit, did he? Just the boys.
I don't think so. I thought-
You probably, at that time, he didn't have any money left. Well, anyway, what I was saying, we got our start by, we put that down to Hyde Park Bank, didn't we? Wasn't it
Yeah.
Hyde Park?
Yeah,
And they let us borrow on it at 3%, wasn't it?
3.5%, I picked up a.
And we
Oh,
bought
no,
the farm
other day.
by, putting that insurance
well, I bought,
policy down there, and
I was lucky when I bought my farm, I didn't ever give a damn cent down, and I got it for $25 a month.
yeah. But I bet Bernie's
4%.
father never realized what he was doing for him
No,
when he,
I was lucky.
and $1,000 was a lot of money in those
Well, that's
days.
the way my
because
son grew.
We paid only 7,000 something when we bought this place, and that was, all the cows and all the machinery, and of course, the house didn't have a bathroom, but that wasn't this far, right? Yeah, right here.
Yeah, work out.
I'll have to ask him.
But
What did we pay for the farm when we bought it?
this farm,
Yeah,
like 7,500.
yes, and you sold off the tractor, and because you had your own to bring,
Yeah,
so you sold off the
I
tractor.
sold it with off down, so cut it down 1,500.
So we really paid,
6,000.
yeah,
well, that was in the late 40s, 50s, when was it?
And that was in 43.
Same year I bought my
43.
farm.
but imagine, 200 acres
Yeah.
with, all the cows and calves
19
and
mountain cows.
19 million cows.
Bought it from Mount.
And
Creek.
machinery.
Yeah.
But as I say, the house didn't have a bathroom, they put all the money into the,
Oh,
There is in the barn.
into the
you
barn.
do remember that?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He
That-
came right back the next morning, he
He
wanted to
came,
buy
I
that.
was over, Laura, once she bought it, she packed her suitcase, went right straight through. The fella that put me, get my head to know, Laura said, she says, you know, this is the only place I like. You know, she brought some of the kids home here from school one night,
Yeah.
see?
And I like this
And
one.
she liked the place. She says, this is the only place in town I like. But he says, I don't know. Well, there's a fella in Hardwick, real estate fella, and we knew him real well. And he says, I don't know. He says, you know, I know of 2 different ones that had that farm all bought. And he says he backed out on it.
Yeah, I know.
So he says, I don't know. He says, whether you'll be able to do it or not. But he says, if you go up and see him, he says, and he decided to sell, you go to work and make out a paper. And you sign it, and he signed it, and you keep on.
And they said to pay, what did we pay down,
And then-
$50 maybe?
Huh?
How much did we pay down? Where,
Paid
that,
down
to buy
$100.
that, $100
Paid
to
down
buy it.
$100.
Buying the wine, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
And,
that.
I know.
That was money. And so, I brought it up and gave it to him. The next morning was Friday morning, and he was over the house.
No, I went to New York.
You went, yes, you went to New York,
As
but
soon
he
as
was
it
over
was
the house,
signed.
and you went left right out
Yeah,
that night to
because
New
you see, we
York.
were working for Virginia Herbert,
And,
Oh, I see.
and we had to give her
So-
notice.
he
Yeah,
was
we
over
were-
at the house the next morning, well, quite early. And he says, you know, I want to back out on this. I says, no, Elmont, I won't do it.
Let's not call in names. Elmont's still living.
Oh,
isn't
I'm
he?
sorry.
That's
So
where you
don't make no difference, we
Yeah.
all know better.
I get
Yeah,
you.
God, yeah.
But anyway, on Sunday morning, he was back over there again. I was just coming down out of the barn to finish the chores. He says, you know, my wife didn't sleep, my kids haven't slept. He didn't say it yet. He says, I want to buy this farm and give you back your money and call it quits. I says, no. I says, Laura's gone to New York, and I says, I'm moving out of here if I have to put my goods right out on the road. And he came away. He hasn't spoken day this day.
Did he go from here up there to
He
where
went-
Earl Anson's?
No,
No, he went to Carl Sherbrooke's place.
Yeah.
No,
no, he went to the village. He
I
But he
know
lived
that
in
was
the
the
apartment
ground.
where
no, he was working for Brown before that.
Yeah.
That's right, too.
Before
because-
that.
Yeah,
he went from here up to Carl's place, didn't
I think he did, because
Yeah, I know he
I worked with him down the village there one winter, sawing lumber there, and worked for Drown there, I did, one winter.
I think he was living up there when the
I guess he
Kay and
was,
Lawrence
yeah,
were married. I
was
think
one.
they were living up
he?
there.
Yeah.
They were living.
That was real
that's right.
funny. He hasn't spoken to Bernie,
Yeah.
but I had the children's
remember.
school and he's always
They
been nice
talk
to
about
me.
Tom.
Yeah,
You
because
were
there was
there.
some cows
No,
in front.
yes, I was there.
And
I
one
did
of
the
you
milking
have
up
calves,
here while,
very good
in the
calves.
transition.
No, I'm on the.
Bernie did the milking
And
here
when
and
I
I did the
came, they
milking
weren't
at Cedar
here.
Rock Farm until we could
So
get
I
up
just
here.
spoke to Elmont.
But,
Elmont says, those are my calves. I says,
he was
"No."
really disgusted because,
Well, it seems that, Oscar Shepherd's a lawyer I had. Oscar had me down to the village, and Elmont went out and spoke to him about it. I told him what the story was. Well, he says, you know, those calves aren't yours at all. He says, these were drawn up, he says, before,
Yeah.
and he says, born. So he says, those calves aren't yours at all. And he, I didn't ask him to pay for the calves, but he sold the calves to whoever it was on the old Dave Smith farm up here. He moved to
Brock.
Frank Brock.
Frank Brock.
Yeah, that's who it was. He sold them to him, I know.
well, it was a
That's
sad
right.
thing
It
because
was
you
sad.
see,
It
but
was sad.
there was 3 times that he said he wanted to sell, that his wife was tired of living up on this hill in the winter with all the snow and so forth. And it was really too bad, but he really was, I know Bernie had to be away and when the cows were sick and I had to call the vet and he wouldn't even hold the cow for Wakefield never could do anything alone, you know. And I remember I had to come out and hold the cow because Elton was, Tate was
Yeah.
so mad about it that he wouldn't even do anything. We, you know, and it was too bad.
But you couldn't ask for Bella.
But they never
After
moved
you-
into the village until late years.
Yeah, but
You can ask for Bella.
you can't do that 3 times back out.
Elmo.
I worked around one.
Oh, Elmo. He's a good fellow, but that was just a
You
point.
could, I mean,
He wanted and didn't and didn't
Yeah.
and then wanted. And
He hadn't
when
made up
you
his mind.
hadn't made up his mind, and after he did make up his mind, well, just faded.
Yeah.
Too late.
I worked one winter down the mill for ground.
Huh?
I was working with him down the mill on Leo.
he was, you know.
I worked for him down that one.
To have having trouble old man drowned.
They were
Let's not talk about that now.
It's all getting recorded.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's all getting recorded.
No.
Oh,
Don't
no,
do that.
we would report.
I remember when
We
I was
don't
coming
want-
up and drawing
I
ice,
would-
the
why can't
band
you
was coming down
take out
coming in the
the
village
name?
just
I
before
think-
noon.
If people know
Mr.
that, that's
Brown,
okay,
he'd always
but I don't
walk
care
up
about spreading
And
it
his great
around
big
or take
guns
out the
out,
whole.
and they're
I
all
could
put
take
their
it
guns
on,
on the
yeah,
fall.
cause that doesn't have anything
He
to
jumped
do.
down, rolled up, just, why are you going to have your dinner? Why are you putting your horses up? I said, this is my, I think it's my first day, and I said, I haven't any place to put them. He said, you remember? I said, John, he says, you take your team and drive it right up in front of my place and take your horses and come in the barn and sit and eat your dinner there. Said, I want you to. He said, we'd like, so I told him, we'll have a full week or more. Don't forget that. That's it.
He was all
Boy,
He was awful slow on the page. That keep teasing.
Yeah.
Get so much today, but
This is just chatter, turn that off. I think this is just chatter.
It's interesting though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I don't think anybody wants to hurt other people, it's bygone. And we don't want to really.
oh, we're up here on ice.
Yeah.
I didn't stay on the ice very well.
Doggone, yeah, I've done everything but ice. The ice is gone.
You start off on the roads, I thought.
Yeah, I think you
I
did.
didn't
Well, 'cause
last
I was
long.
up here last week talking
So
to
you already
Bernie
got a lot of
about
that.
roads. I think that's why you picked that up, to start with.
And I do know that was a wonderful thing that they had to put in, had to rig a frame put right up at the end of the ice houses.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, that's good. They sat down, we had these big poles, and they were probably 7 by 6s or 7 by 8s, and they took one side and whittled it off, squared it up, and then they got an iron. The front end of it, like a square, but the one end was blown out, and they took that right in and molded it all the way up through, and then they made a little elevator, what you want to call it, went up and down, and them flanges on the elevator rode right up and down on each side, right up and down, the whole length of it. And there was a pulley up at the top, and you used to bore a hole, and you put wire in the bolts on, and that's the way they held it. And then down at the base, they put on the big iron, and then they had a big pulley, round wooden pulley, and the belt went up on this up through the pulley, and then it came down on the back side, and you had we had a Model T motor, and they had what would come off of the sewing machine, the level,
Yeah.
the wheels,
Yeah.
the trees, the flange, and be a
Clutch.
clutch,
Yeah.
and it worked just like a brake on a car. So that would come down, and that was about the height of the vehicles that came in, and they'd slide the ice on them. And this was slanted just enough in so that the cake would never come back up. And they ran it right up on the middle of that, next to ice house. They had a great big hardwood plank. And they would run that up and down, and boy, that did work great.
What a shame, none of that stuff was saved, so they
Well,
have in
I'm
some
trying to get-
places, they have demonstrations every,
Well, that's
in
what
a
I'm trying to-
festival, or what do you call
It
it?
was on TV last week.
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
saw
And
it.
it would have been
before.
nice,
Yeah.
since it
And
was.
the first one, I sting the hulling. I'm trying to find out. I've got it. It's on the plan.
But they wouldn't even
handbag.
know how to work it if they got.
Oh, yes.
You would.
Oh, yes. One of us here at this table in 10 minutes be cutting ice for you, and we.
Well,
put up
you don't
the-
suppose that'll be something they could use down to the town hall or something instead
Yeah.
of buying a,
Oh, I've been thinking
Have
of that.
that?
I've been thinking of
Buy an
that.
elevator.
buying an elevator?
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah,
excellent.
but,
Well, he's been looking into getting all kinds of,
I know,
material on these
Cheryl.
lifts that go up the stairs.
Yeah.
they had them on.
And
I had a
even
fella-
had a fellow wanted
I
to
had
come
a fellow
down and
call
talk with
me on
him.
the telephone here. I don't know where in Old Harry he was from, but I see these in a sporting magazine again, why you send in, and just for the goose of I, cross a lot of them off, send them in. I'll be a
He
star
should have
for
asked
them.
to send at least
One
the
night
price
here, I
list
got
on
this
it.
call from the telephone. I don't know where in Old Harry he's from, but he wanted to know about, he got word that I was interested in those chairlifts.
He wanted to come down,
Wanted
get
to
a
come
talk
up
with
and
him.
demonstrate or something like
And
that.
Bernie sent it in just because he wondered if it would
Oh,
work,
dear, I
to,
wonder.
Will it work with the landing like that?
oh yeah, it will work with
Sure, it'll
where
go
it
around-
turns,
it'll go around the
but
corner.
I don't know how much they cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
go
as
around
much
the
as an
inside.
elevator, I
Right,
know.
yeah.
They had the advantage of us, when they got done up there, they put their engine and everything inside, so it was. But down there, that was my job in the morning. Hell, we had an all Model T engine. There was one that had wooden square boxes. And what do you call it?
Magneto.
Magneto.
Yeah. I know Mike.
He would take them out in the bank, and Al would take them up to his place, put them in the back of the stove so they'd be warm. In the morning, I'd go down there. Of course, at night, you see, we drained the water. You didn't have no number 10 oil light. And when they came down in the morning, they'd stop at the creamery and get a small can of warmish water. Of course, you couldn't put it in hot water because you didn't want to crack it. And then we had some, gasoline. They had a stick with a wine and old bag around.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
My God, we'd like that kerosene, and I'd put that under that little bottle, the engine. You couldn't see it inside of it. I don't know why it didn't go up, but it didn't.
They used to do the same on the ice.
Yeah, you used to do the same on the ice, but you did have, it wasn't that
Well,
great.
that's interesting.
You know,
Now, another little tidbit
it's cold.
about ice, how you,
And
Get the
when that
engine
got to going, that was the slickest
Yeah.
working rig that I've seen. I remember one morning, it was just about, Roy was drawing, and Max Gardner, and they were going up the lake and getting ice. Now, I wouldn't dare say the time that they left and they went back. Everything was just right. They touched that cake of ice and all the body, they didn't push it, went right in the sink. And I was going just as fast as I could. There was once twice the cake was going to come back, and I didn't know, I had to wait a little on that. And I can't remember, but Erwin told me that night how many cakes of ice they moved down there that day. I know he came down in the middle of the day and he said, boy, he said, I'm telling you, he says, what's going on down here? He said, them fellows up there, he says, getting sweating, he said, getting that ice cart full. But it was just one of them days, just right. And they had, Al the Brewer had the boss of that. We had about 1, 2, 3, 4. We had about 6 to 7 men in the top of the packing. You'd start your first layer, and then they had these trimmers. These they bought. They were a great big thing that wide, and they were that long. The teeth, they had about 8 teeth on them, and they were sharp. And then they came up over and you had a band here, and you had a big handle come up over on a circle. We called them the trimmers. And when if they put the layer in, they'd use them to chip it off. Of course, when you got finished up, you always had kind of a bad place in the center, so you could keep your chippings, and you had to cut the cakes often to fill out the center. Then when you started your next layer, you went vice versa. Instead of going this way, you went this way.
it's almost like
And
laying
that's
a tile
what-
floor.
That's what tied it, and you had to keep that up, because as fast as they were coming in, after they went up this elevator, they had another chute inside the milk, in the ice house. Because them were long ice houses, I wouldn't say, but I bet they were 60,
Oh, yeah.
80
Down the
feet
bend?
long,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
and they had 2 of them, and they had them down the bend. And they had iron strips in the elevators, and they'd go up and hit in there, and they'd slide right along down. And Al would always holler, one man go to cake, you know, he wanted 2 men on it. 2 men do a cake, you hear him go up the village. One, they had the ice tongs with a little longer handles, and they grabbed, followed Grandma onto them. And then they had ones with a small one. And he done the pushing, and he done the steering, and you slip them right in, and it's just as perfect most of the time as could be.
You didn't put anything between the cakes or anything, you just packed them tight
No.
Just
together.
packed them tight together, and they were cut so good up there with that saw, that unless in the first time in the morning when they broke out, you might have a few. But you see, cutting it as deep, they probably left, now you correct me, you probably left pretty an inch, did you figure, on the ball when you
Oh,
went the
yeah.
long way?
Oh, yeah, more. But, yeah.
More. You
Depends
just
on-
hit them, and they bring them over before they went up. You just hit them, and they would crack just as perfect as could
It's
be.
quick.
Of course, so we went over and filled up the ice house, and we took it over. It was a little
Yeah.
bit different. We got a rig, it was with a horse.
Yeah.
And the
That's what
first,
they use down the messes all the time.
Hmm?
Down the messes, that's what they use all the time, filling that on. Down here,
What,
the horse.
There's a
oh, yeah,
same
Yeah,
idea.
but I mean
You
cutting
pull
it.
Same
hay up.
idea, but
yeah, they, I remember.
you know,
The last year I was working in the creamery, and they had to build a rank, went up into the road, remember? And they shoot them up, put in about 4 cakes of ice, and pull it up for the horse, and then the iron thing went around.
Isn't it too bad that they don't have movies of that?
I know it.
Linda Brown, they had a beautiful
There
dry
weren't
hall.
any movies.
You remember her? She'd always bring the cream down.
Yeah.
But boy, when they were filling that, they had to wait. Boy, that horse was afraid I'd go out and leave it, and then it wouldn't really stand. When she got it turned around, going, oh boy, would that thing look, boy, she had a beautiful
He left
dry
his
horse.
horses all right.
Yeah.
Linda was a, and, but that's the way they filled it. Build it up that way.
Yeah, it was wonder why you left that farm up there to go by that one correct.
I never could understand it. The darndest thing I used to take feed up when I worked with feeders, had to go through the milk house, up a long stairway, and through another room, and then drop the feed in front of the cows, and I thought to myself, one handy bad.
But he finally died in a boarding house or something, a great big house on the crossroad up to his cabin.
You remember the dance hall down at the Bend, probably used to
Oh
go there.
my God.
That's one place my folks didn't want me to go. I went down one
I
night.
never see anything bad about that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they
Nine
did.
Lumps and I used to go
Boy,
down
yeah.
there quite often.
Yeah.
Just saying, the one up there,
Drive down there, the
Walden, Four
horse
Corners
and
there.
buggy.
That would be.
That was tougher than down the band. There's a
Where
room.
was that?
One be sure when you were going upstairs, there's
South
nobody
Walden,
back there.
the
You were kind of,
dance hall of old, but it used to be kind of a hotel.
Yeah.
the old tell
Then we
about.
used to go down East Paddock, one down there.
Yeah.
That's all.
Oh, I used to go down there.
I remember one night Jimmy Fondane and I went down the East side to dance. And we took Edla Willie, no, let me see, yeah, Edla Willie and, oh gosh, one of the room girls.
Evelyn, probably.
No, I think it was, what's the other one, no, in between.
Helmet?
We got down there and then I remember dancing quite a lot and they got pretty interested, these guys from Hackney.
Yeah.
Jimmy and I wasn't dancing, they were dancing to us so much. Even got time to come home. And Jimmy and I decided to come home, so we did, and we got some right there. We found out afterward, they had quite a job getting home.
Yeah.
I know who's
That's
going
how
on.
I did that.
Well, they didn't go with you again.
There was Frank Russell.
No, I don't know if they did.
And,
I don't think we asked them again, did we?
there was Frank Russell.
Is he still alive?
Richardson.
Huh?
Is Jimmy Fond?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is in
He is
Connecticut.
still alive.
Yeah, in Connecticut. I saw Mark last, yeah. Mark was up last fall. I was talking with him, yeah.
What was that place up in Crash Spring? Well, they used to have the dances, it was tough. Oh, I wasn't supposed to go up there, but I did one night. Took Harriet King. I wouldn't have gone, but Vina, we took Harriet King, I shouldn't say about this, but she went with Dr. Libby's son for a good many years. All at once, he got into her, picked the girl up here, it was Shattuck's boy, down there, such a golfer. Oh boy, Harriet was all upset. So she wanted us to take her up there to see.
Crashby, where would that be? Just
Twin Bridges.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, I know.
Oh, yeah, Twin Bridges, that
Boy,
was
that
bad,
was
so we're
tough.
down there.
Boy,
That was a tough place.
After many years, you had to put up the window, you couldn't walk out the ladder all down on the floor. Boy, that was the toughest place.
A tough place meant
Well,
that
I
they
went
went
up that night
drink
with them.
there.
Yeah.
And after
Terrible.
that night,
Oh,
the
it's a
state
drink.
come and shut it down.
Yeah.
Boy, I was awful
And
careful.
probably
Yeah,
two
right,
fights.
did that.
Well, you know what happened is Red King, and he was quite a scrapper.
Yeah.
Red King
Figured
and Art Bacon's brother.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, they planned it up every weekend, get somewhere, and they get 3 or 4, and they'd have a brawl every single. Boy, didn't they used to.
Well, those fellows from Hardwick were tough anyway.
Well,
We were
they-
told over in
Yeah,
Crashbury, the
wanna
girls
say.
were told not to go out with those Hardwick boys. They were tough.
You've always had that feeling,
Yeah.
that's for Greensboro about the Hardwick people.
Yeah.
Well, I had to, I admit, I had to, I know, it was Frank Russell and
Yeah, I remember
Smith.
him being down, he started getting the dances.
Yeah.
His father ran the sawmill down there. I lived up at Payne. And then there's George Richards. His grandfolks lived over here up on the lake farm. There's 4 of them. Well, anyway, Frank Russell, and when I went out west, and he went living quite a lot from that. So we got married. I'll never forget this. And boy, it was a wicked day. I had to put the chains on. So when I got down the East Highway, I drove up and I didn't think about it. I stopped right in front of Frank Russell's place. You know how Frank lives.
Yeah.
I stopped, took my chains off and put them in the car. And Frank, he sat there and he didn't think nothing about it. And then after we read in the paper we got married, you know. Next time I see him, boy, did he help me. Boy, if I never know that, he said, you never put that.
Yeah, in those days, and I don't know if they do it now, but you always, if they were at home, you got a group of people and you, what'd they call that? Chivalry, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
And you didn't let them sleep all night. You made so much noise.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
They didn't do it to us because we weren't
Foster
around.
Gebbie got married.
Yeah.
Bessie's father and mother ran the post office.
Post office, yeah.
And he was a barber.
Yeah.
And Foster, when they got married upstairs. And Robert Willie and Andrew Willie, I think there's 3 of them. They watched it when somebody had a team. So I had to be somebody beside them. So when they came down the hallway, they took Bessie, run, put in the sleigh, went off. They said they went down to the water tub, just turned around and come back, they were fun. Now, have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
That would get Foster pretty upset, wouldn't it?
Well, it didn't make much difference, he lost
I
that.
was thinking it was might be pretty.
Bernie tells about George Tallman when he got married.
Oh, I know,
You do.
Oh, yeah.
What was it that was in the box? In
Well,
the sleigh, in the wagon or sleigh or whatever it was?
Those are wagon.
Wagon?
Yeah.
It was a box or something he had in there and you boys took it out and filled it up with horse manure. Whatever it was.
took it down,
Oh,
that was
what
when
miserable things they
Collins
did.
had the, post office down there where, well, you know, where Willie owns now, that
Oh, you mean Rollins?
Rollins owns
Yeah.
the post
Rollins.
office there. I mean, you know, we took it down there, mailed it down there to him there.
Well, he took the same route his father did when he got married.
Well, it bothered him, and that was why it was fun, because he got really mad about it.
Oh,
And
Oh,
that
man.
was really fun, because he really got.
Well, he didn't get back to me, tell me that when there was Wednesday night, I had the girls at school used to serve dinners, you know, when town meeting day
Yeah.
at school. So they had a lot of pies, so the girls come along, they come up and I guess the pie was 5 cents a piece, so honey was up on the top then, and I was. And they wanted to buy a piece of pie and I didn't want it, but I happened to think, George told me, you always wore rubber boots.
Yeah.
Tell me,
Rubber
rubber
boots.
boots, just go in the,
Manure on.
just as you go in the hall, he put them over in this corner. So I took a piece of pie. You know, I said Earl.
Miserable.
I said Earl, so I took a piece of pie and very quietly put it in and boom. We watched when George come out, he fell down into the boots and all walked down, he walked right down the sidewalk down there and went home. But I know why we had a lot of fun with that.
He always made town meetings interesting.
Oh,
I remember him and old Sam Rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Rich and another one.
yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Boy, they had their say.
Kicked him in
Yeah.
San Paul.
You know, there's one of the boys, that, Sam Rich's boy, that didn't have a darn thing.
The
Or the
Richard.
church mouse.
Yeah.
They went to school to her,
Yeah.
and his nose is always running, everything like that. So that boy today comes up, calls her up,
Yeah.
and comes up and see us, and he comes up with the most beautiful,
motorhome.
motorhome.
It's a gray, big, well, it's as big as Dave's, you
If
know?
that fella
And he
hasn't
had
done
nothing.
well since.
Is that Sam Rich's boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy.
That was
This is
Harold?
Guy Rich.
Guy?
Guy Rich.
He comes every year to see us.
Yeah.
He's had,
Is he from Springfield?
No, he's from South Carolina.
I mean, the
Oh,
filling
yeah.
station's
That's
down
the boy.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boy, yeah.
Now he's retired.
Yeah.
It was up this,
His wife is a nurse, a retired nurse,
Is that
and
the
the nicest
college?
people, and of
Yeah.
course he talks
See,
Southern now, you know, and here he was, a little kid. Well, he wrote me a letter and said that, at that time, he had nothing. Of course, his father abused him. I mean,
my
today,
God.
his father, they take him away, you know, from his folks, because he got pounded up plenty. And, he said that, I seemed to be the only one that cared what happened to him. And he wrote this letter to me, and then he wanted to know if he could come and see me. And here, you know, I expected, well, on my, he drove up, and he called me from East Hardwick and said they were coming,
his
and
brother.
we were gonna be at home.
Yeah.
And here he drove in with this great, big
He's got the
motorhome.
most wonderful wife too.
Yeah, she's,
That's the way
and
it
he's
is.
crazy about her. I
There
mean,
was Harold and
there's nothing
what
he
was the
can't
other
say good
I should
about, you
know,
know.
went to
He
school, both
says,
of them.
well, she's
Harold
Dan
and,
Rich
made
was
me-
Dan, wasn't it?
Dan.
well, he went to
Yeah.
Springfield, and I looked him up a few years ago. He's retired now,
Yeah.
but as he done wonderful, he went in the machine shops down there and got a beautiful woman.
This fellow is.
And I just couldn't get used to it because it was yes ma'am and
Yes,
no
ma'am.
ma'am, and
He always
everything
calls her
was,
man,
you know,
man.
southern, and I go, oh, God, it floored me.
That's the southern. But you remember the time that talking about Sam Rich and Mr. Tallman that was when he was listening again, so he went around and listening got old Sam Rich, and Sam knew about time that probably he'd be coming over there. And he had a pair of Shetland ponies.
Hit him on the
So he took him up to the sugar place. So Allie, Mr. Tallman came in and asked him if he had any horses, said no, so he listed him. And pretty quick, after a few days, or quite a while after that, Mr. Rich had trouble with his mill. And so he had to go to, he sent it, had to separate it. So he brought it down to the station and went to Santa Fe or someplace in New York, just over the border. And I was unloading the milk train about coming time to come up, and I was unloading, that time it was 40% cream. I was putting them on that wagon and the butter and stuff. And I see Mr. Tom coming over from George Davidson. And I didn't think much about it, and then he come over and see me and looked at me and said, "Hi John," he said, "have you seen anything of Sam Rich?" And I said, "No, I haven't, just today right off." I said, "He's been here," because I said he brought down his cream. And he said, "That's what I thought." He said, "Do you know where he might be?" I said, "I don't." He said, "If anything, I imagine he might be up to the blacksmith shop. He might gone home." I was struck because I'd heard this other. And so,
I don't know where I ever learned to type.
so they met up there, and boy, did they have it up there. And Sam told me, he said, "I knew," he says, "I told you I didn't have any horses." He says, "I didn't have any horses." He says, "I had just 2 Shetland ponies."
Yeah.
They you know, they used to do little crooked things and, up
It's
there in
hard
your
to think
neighborhood.
when he's here,
there where your
he
folks
says
used to live.
there's nothing
I
about his
remember,
home life that he
John
really
Kendrick, you remember.
remembers fondly at all.
He was
And that
listening.
seems so,
Yeah.
And Dean Mitchell, where he
Yeah.
lived, you know,
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
next door neighbor.
Yeah, up there. I can remember, I guess it was Dad telling me about, because he did a lot of his stuff from Miami, Georgia, of course.
that's what he
About,
wrote me the first time, excuse me,
Yeah.
before.
John going up there, John Kendrick going up there listening to it, you know. And he knew that Dean, the spring there, he had a lot of shows. And he got up there listening to it, you know, and he says to Dean, he says, "Well," he says, "you got any pigs?" He says, "No." He says, "You know, I got rid of all those pigs." He says, "My gosh, you get wild that I I just couldn't take care of them. He says there's too many. He says I got rid of all of them. When John goes on, takes hold of it, pulls up one of the scuttles there. While they kept the horses. And John said, what are these things down here? I remember Dad telling about that. I knew well enough. He got it from Hiram Keldo and didn't throw them dollars. But they used to let that way back in do some.
There were scoundrels in those days, were there?
It's human nature all over, isn't it?
He said, no, he says, I told you I didn't have any horses. And he says, Davey, he says, I haven't got any horses. He says, I got just 2 Shetland ponies.
Sure.
In a sense, I
Too often you get letters like that.
No.
It's a teacher, is it?
No, you don't.
Gertrude Willie has a lot of her
Yeah,
old school friends come.
they come, the
and see her.
Richards come, the older one comes
Yeah.
to see her.
Bluebell Belknap. Bluebell, Nettie, and Forrest.
And all of those came from really poor
Oh,
families,
yeah, they
you
were
know.
poor.
There weren't that
And,
many, what you call people those days anyway.
Oh,
No. And she was kind of a motherly teacher as well as a teacher. She was a wonderful teacher. But she has most every year, I'll guarantee. Well, I just see her the other day, she's speaking about this fall, Bluebell
Yeah,
coming in.
yeah. And I know that, I think it's Dan Ricks that comes to see her I believe it's Dan.
You don't get that in the computer. I think I have a place, but I think way beyond. Did you hear the second education speaker here a while ago? He said, plan a school with 5 teachers within 2 years. They thought they could get it down to at least 3, if not 2.
No, I didn't hear that. Is that
That was
right?
over a
You
year
think that's
ago.
true?
And the
Oh, yeah,
computer's
yeah.
gonna wipe the noses.
Yeah, yes.
Help
Well,
zip
now-
up the jackets and all this
That-
stuff.
That makes me, what are you gonna do? I mean, 3 teachers. Got a bill, pay, get them their education, you know, and what is it gonna, that's one place where our science and stuff is getting way ahead of it. They aren't gonna have work, plus probably aren't going to, because they're all going out.
Well,
It
many
happens.
people going into teaching now because it doesn't pay that well. I mean, it has to, you have to be
We just
dedicated
support
to.
one way
be a
down, and
teacher
you just
today.
as well throw you down somebody's computers out the window and let the teacher that is a good teacher and the kids like her. She does have to scratch a little
They're all
red
one
pencil
grade.
over her head.
I would be for having both. I wouldn't want to throw the computers in.
No, I wouldn't either. But did you see Japan here about, well, it's a year ago now, and just the other night, 2020, was China. Now that's China, and they're just starting in. But what is China doing? It showed the computer that they had made. But them Chinese are not allowed to use that computer until they can do it right in their head.
Well, I
And that is the way that Japan was
don't
over
really
2
know
years
much about
ago.
computers
Well,
anyway.
I just say you was up in North Country School up here in beyond Newport. You get to know how to do math before they let you use a calculator.
Yeah, well, that's what they should do.
That's
The
what they
girls were
should
playing
do.
cards the other night.
Yeah,
At the
'cause I
end,
get
they
3
wanted to
grades,
have a
and
hand
I bet you
calculator.
a
There's
dollar
nothing to
they
it.
don't know that time
But
table.
they use them, I guess,
Yeah.
in school. I don't know how good they do.
Well,
I'm not against
really, no.
computers.
You need it.
Oh, those little pocket ones they carry, everybody carries one of those, I think.
Well, you know, last time we went to St. David, looking for our old, for a pickup to take place, and they had a new one, no one. And I hadn't spot one. As you come through the bridge, it looked pretty good, so I stopped looking and I told David, I said, I think it's I know that might interest me. So next morning we drove over. And we went in, of course the young fella coming out, and before we could even get to where it was, he got it. I don't know what area it was, and so forth and so on. And he said what the whole thing was, you know, right off the bat. Well, I said, well, I guess we'll go and look it over. And it was in good shape, but it was getting pretty near noon. So we went in to see the other fellow, and he went in and we put up what we thought maybe would be a good proposition. This fellow said, well, you come back after dinner. This was the boss, the old man in there. And so we went to go and come back, and I told him, no, you know, the old saying is a way to a man's heart's to his stomach. My guy went in there, put me fooled around, then finally he took a pad with his pencil and we figured it out, you know. We got within $10 of what we figured.
You know, I know of some people, young men and women that weren't able to memorize, like multiplication tables and adding and so forth, but they can work a calculator.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't throw the calculator
Oh, no, I
out.
ain't throwing it out.
Because there are some people that can use the calculator that just cannot memorize.
But I mean, if you knew how to do your math, I kept to let
Yeah.
you use it. But
Yeah.
you had to
Yeah.
know just what you were doing. Then you could use a calculator, yeah.
I think they're
I'm
great
not
help
against it,
myself.
no.
I like
Oh,
to
I'm
take
not
them
against
shopping even.
But I do think when it gets to the point, it's all
Never
going
get too much in there.
Well, it's pretty easy to learn how
Oh,
to
yeah.
do a calculator.
Well,
I'll
my
do it
boy
this month,
uses
so
it
I
every
know how much you
night.
can
In
make.
5 minutes, he knows how much he spent that day and how much he's going to take it in. Computer, he can sit right down and every night. Has it figured right up there, boy, you can do it.
It's much
No.
quicker if you're trying to do percentages.
Yeah.
I remember Hiram Calwood, because he lived sort of up in our neighborhood, to go down
Yeah.
Hazen Road.
Oh, sure.
He was, at that time, they didn't teach math the way they should in school. They should be able to do these long strings, you know, of
Yeah.
Yeah,
math in your heads, and he knew they weren't getting that in school. Well, this was probably 40 years ago.
yeah.
Nowadays, I'm sure he'd be horrified at the
Oh,
math.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
But not everyone can do that, so.
Because the kids went into the house, I think he was always testing them with a
Yeah,
string of
that's
numbers,
right,
add and
that's
subtract.
right.
and
Yeah.
bet he will.
I have sympathy for him though, because in those days too, if you couldn't get up and be first in a spelling bee, you weren't much, and I
Yeah.
never could spell.
I never can.
Never.
Yeah. Still bothers me.
And I think that's why I don't like to write, because I have to have my dictionary with me, because I may spell it right, but I won't be sure, so I have to
Oh,
go
I
to the
do that
dictionary.
all the time. I have to check words every while.
And it takes the fun out of writing.
Spelling is my weakest.
Me too, it bothers me.
Teacher
Yeah.
say with a
I would do my writing.
Well, I said, if you don't know how to
Of course,
spell it,
there are lots of big
You have to look quite a while before you find them.
managers
I don't
of
know how to spell.
corporations. They don't have to
Yeah.
spell, they can't spell
Right,
anyway,
don't
but
you
they
know.
have secretaries that do all the work for
Important
them.
letter to
they
write,
don't-
some of those tax people that go up
But
there,
it's
Yeah,
funny, so
well.
many of those old people that had no education
I
at
used
all were
to do a
so
little
good
of
at
it.
math.
Yeah.
So like, I don't
I
suppose
can do
Davis
some
had
of it. I
ever
know what
had
I
any
wanna
Don't
say.
know what-
great amount of schooling.
No,
But
probably
boy,
not.
Yeah.
he
like
knew,
my father, he never went
Yeah,
from the
but
7th
the-
grade.
boy, you couldn't beat him on figures.
People
Well,
that
he was
want
good
to
at
pay the
figures, he
8%.
was very good
Yeah.
at writing.
Well, I'm talking about Davis,
Oh, yeah.
George Davis, he had to
Oh,
be to
did
be
they?
the,
And see
Oh,
what
yeah.
they
he had to be to be in the store like that, you know well enough he was good at
And I
figures.
wrote,
Oh, yeah.
told them,
And,
they still
Well,
call it.
no one had much of a high school education in those days.
See,
No, as I said, my dad,
Get enough
7th
for
grade,
yeah.
that's all he had.
I always
He's
teach
got-
that out of there.
Then, back then, you would,
They're talking
you
with
wouldn't
that
go to the spring or the
so
fall.
it was
But you
still
go what
great
you call
to
a
say,
winter
and then when
term.
the taxes
So you
took
went
us,
to
I was
the
doing
7th,
back
winter
then,
term.
Yeah.
you see.
You started to go,
I had the money to that down there, I had it in my box, but I
it's
didn't
just
turn
a
it
passed
in.
away.
That's what I do.
And
I said,
people were
"Crack
poor,
that."
so he had to go to school, help, go out and work, help pay for the.
Can you imagine the first year I taught school, I only had 1 year of training, and I taught all 7 grades. I must have been terrible.
Boy.
You learned the hard way, didn't you?
I must have.
Where'd you go, Christine?
I was in Walker,
But where'd you get your training?
Johnson, no, the 1 year.
I have to explain to
Was in
him why
Johnson.
you get to pay the 8%.
And I went
And
to
told him
North
because he
Walker,
was a month late.
way up on the hill in Noland where the well
Just a little
cats
above Twin
stood on the
Bridges.
post and yelled, and I was scared to death to walk home, you know,
When I get,
to walk,
I get a
to my
phone
boarding
call.
place.
I'm gonna share.
and I had all 7 grades,
Three of
and
Three of us.
that was tough.
That's all, 3 and 4.
And I'm sure that, well, you didn't have to teach then, but you do now anyway.
No, you didn't have to have
You
a lot of
taught
science, a lot of this,
reading
a lot
and
of
writing and arithmetic and science and history and geography, and that was it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and that-
That's terrible.
None of
Right.
this newfangled stuff had come in
Yeah,
by
no.
then anyway. You didn't,
I had trouble with the oil place every year.
they had a big stove in the middle of
I
the
mean, you know. I
one-room
had trouble
schoolhouse.
with that.
But there were lots of things good about a one-room schoolhouse though.
Oh, yeah, they had their advantages.
Then you went around, you can-
I guess I taught in one room schools 2-3 times, but
I know.
the big stove was always in the corner,
I didn't.
encased with the jacket,
Well, this one was an older one than that. There was a box stove in the middle.
box stove.
Yeah.
Trouble in there.
And
Is the
then,
schoolhouse still standing?
no,
It's gone?
no, it burned.
I gave it to my lawyer.
And then I went to Craftsbury, one-room school, and they had to kind of furnish it.
Which one did you do in Craftsbury?
There's always some.
Up in the Uri Young district.
Seaver School.
Yeah,
I taught there through.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I boarded at the Youngs and at the Uris.
I boarded at Uri's, I had got a mile's hike from Uri's over
Yeah.
for near mile.
Yeah,
But they're getting so high now, it's gonna be quite a job to get up this night. Breakfast.
Everywhere.
Kind of about 17% more this year.
Yeah. 17?
So out of the year,
That's
they
what they thought.
what's
come
that?
out in the
The road.
What's that?
Texas,
Taxes? 70% more?
17. So they're
Well,
talking, the president, something was in the paper last week, tell you about it when you had a free time.
It's about time, I think, for me or us to sell out. So I think so too. Pick up the stakes and move for facts on.
7,000?
Yeah.
What's that?
For 7,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
Look out, you'll have to pay a lot of income tax on all you've gained.
No, you don't have to, do you, if you
Oh,
sell your home
You
place,
have to
or
gain.
once anyway.
Other than
No.
the capital gains.
After 125,000 you might have to,
Well,
but if you make more than 125,000 on capital gain.
of course, when you get
But
older,
you don't have
you
to-
get less.
There's a lot
pay
of
less,
angles to
yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But you put a lot into it too, so you can add in all that stuff too.
Yeah.
Come and do it, that's sure.
Rang rate.
So Paul Masse was saying, if they keep coming up, you have to do something. Yes,
Oh,
Masse.
how's he?
For you?
Well, it gets to the point where even if you can pay it, you don't want to spend all your
Well, I
money for
know,
that,
that's what I mean, like Paul.
you know?
Almost 2 hours for that
Yeah.
time of year.
Well,
Of course, there are other things come into
Let's
it.
see where
Maybe you don't want
Edwards
a
is,
bigger
Willie.
place to
I
take
know,
care
see
of.
where
And
Edwards
it's
is.
hard to
Yeah.
get somebody if you can't mow your lawn and do the things
Be
that
over that
keep your
this
place
year.
up.
I know this year.
It's kind of hard to find anyone.
If it
There are
goes
too many
17,
people that do that kind of work around here. Eves
We'll be
always
over.
does, but I think he's
Yeah.
pretty busy.
I think most of them that do it are pretty well
That's too
tied up
much,
with
I
summer
think.
people.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying.
And it's pretty
They set
expensive,
this
I suspect,
online.
at the rates they
I
charge.
bet it is.
See, I mean, you know,
I don't know.
still
We've always done
fine,
everything
but I
ourselves,
mean,
but,
You can't get high school
fertilizer
kids
on.
Yeah.
to do that.
oh, there might be. There might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Maybe you've got kids
Wanna
up
get
this
into
way,
it.
maybe, I don't know whether let your kids or some of them like that to do it.
I don't know.
Can you pay them then?
I can't understand how they will get, how you get a good chance.
What?
My boy,
Good chance to what?
the farm, when I turn it over. Seems so he ought to be free and clear today.
But he isn't.
I don't know.
Oh. I thought you were telling morning because he wasn't.
I don't think he is.
Yeah.
But
Well-
everything you buy costs so much nowadays.
That's what's trouble with him, but even so, my God, when you get a farm for like he got, new barns and all new equipment, new tractors and everything, when he bought it.
Trouble of it is, I think, you know, that an awful lot of those people, when they had a good chance there, that a lot of these things, all right,
Joey,
something coming up, don't you know, through things, well, all right, we'll go to work and have that. We can pay so much on it now, don't you know?
Right.
And then pay so much a month. There's been too darn much of that, I think,
That's right.
too much of it.
Well, they encourage it, I think.
Sure, they encourage it. That's one trouble with the farmers out west.
Yeah.
The,
And that's
the
what-
bankers. I got an article just the other day there in the American Agriculturist about that.
They're really
For a
having a
fellow
hard
with the
time,
board
I think.
5,000, you know, and the bank would say, well, gosh, you know, you say interest rate might be going up. He says, we can loan to 10, all right. Why don't you take 10? Well, everything.
Well, we had that happen to
That's
us. When we wanted to borrow money, they tried to have us take
Sure.
more.
Oh,
They, if you want more, well, you can have it.
That's another thing that I don't like. They talk about the banks going together. Now they talk about them going into the other state. I have a chainsaw, this is a good example.
I
You
know
got
it.
that
I have
for
pretty good
$10.
credit with the bank.
Sure, that's it.
With all new barn.
I had to have a new
Frank,
chainsaw, used to.
it's
Chainsaw
mine,
went down,
but
she left it me.
I paid my M in less than 10 years.
Small chainsaw.
I know it.
And
Take a
it's
tractor.
small one, $145. Well, of course, she's cash.
Tractors.
So I went to a bank,
Two or three of them.
Went to my bank.
But
and I
you need three,
one or two other things along.
get three,
Over that.
1 year.
You got
They
three.
said, I'm sorry, no, I said, you can't do it.
Yeah, but
I can't get
How can you use three when there's just two of them?
I didn't own it. She said, yes, you can, but she said, you got to borrow 500.
I done it
Oh,
once.
for goodness sake.
Well,
That's right,
We
in
did
Hardwick.
there for a long
Said, you got
time.
to borrow 500. Says, the only way that you can borrow that amount of money,
You know that.
the bank is taking over now the, these cards.
The other day.
We call them.
Oh, credit cards, you mean?
Yeah.
One place.
She says, the bank is taking through memo, and she says, hey, you can borrow that amount through there. Well, I said, I never get tied up with them yet, so there's no like that. I couldn't get that chainsaw, because I had to borrow $500 to get my $140 chainsaw. That's right down in the That's one trouble.
And when somebody said that I charged something like $7 to cash checks. This was in Willie's store the other day. They commented on how many people cash the checks from Willie's store because it costs so much. If you don't have a bank account, it costs so much to cash your checks in the bank.
Does it, Bernie?
I don't know now.
You have to ask.
Well, I know.
They charge.
I hadn't heard that, Dorothy.
Cashing
No,
your
of
check.
course, the
you
merchants
know.
you do. You have to
Because
pay
it-
$1 if you don't have an
Yeah,
account.
$1, I
It's more
guess.
like
if
$1.
you
I
bought-
couldn't
$1 per
understand that $7 bit. That
But
must
it's
have
still
been crazy.
ridiculous.
You know, I heard that because Joe out to the lake cabins, you know, live in Florida now. Joe,
Bergeron?
Bergeron,
Yeah.
they live in Florida. And he had a chick cashed out that Orleans, and there he'd done business with that bank for years and years and years.
He was a cattle dealer. So
Yeah,
he did a lot of
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And I know they I think it's $5 they charged him.
Yeah.
He was
Because,
a man. I
what's
would
the name
be
down there sells cars? He worked for him.
Carl's.
Carl's.
Oh,
He
yeah.
worked for him. And Carl says, for heaven's sakes, why didn't you tell me? And he says, I could cash that check for you for nothing. Because he says, I do my bank right there.
That's
So
ridiculous.
you're right. I don't know what
Of
to
course,
do.
I guess banks charge for everything now.
Well, yeah, they charge.
For everything.
Cash in your social security checks, one of them, so I went to the other one, and they charge it for nothing. I
Doesn't-
never count either one of them.
Mine comes direct now. It didn't used to, but it comes direct.
Well,
So
I
it
don't
doesn't
get
cost me
nothing,
anything.
I
Mine
don't
goes
see
right
it.
to
Mine
bank.
comes direct
They
too.
don't charge.
But
Yeah.
it does now. I
Yeah,
haven't, I haven't
pay.
teacher's retirement over yet. I kinda like to go in and get some cash out of that. But
sure.
I do let the other one
You know,
go direct.
Mine got lost.
Find out of town, it's
Yeah.
handy.
Waited to New York City,
Yeah,
month before they ever get it straightened out.
yeah,
New York City, when you
yeah.
Yeah, when they make a mistake, boy, they make them. They don't straighten them out very fast,
No,
do they?
Mine goes direct to the bank.
Yeah, well, we decided, because evidently it works better if it's that
Yeah,
way,
it's all
if they get lost.
All by computer or whatever.
Yeah,
No, I
Yeah.
get mine on the
No
computer,
mails,
on
no.
the checking account. So when he comes in, it goes on my checking account.
yeah.
That's what I've done.
But I've never heard, Bernie, do you know anything about, does your bank have to have $500 to loan anybody? You wanted to borrow $145?
145.
And they wouldn't loan him-
I went down to
They wouldn't
two
loan them
banks.
anything less than 500. That sounds
And I didn't
silly.
know either one of them banks was sent, but only Danville was.
Just for the,
And they told me that they couldn't, that amount, they told me they could not loan me that much, but they could loan me 500.
Well, you probably could have borrowed the 500
Oh,
and paid
yeah.
back. No, but you could pay back 350 the
No.
next day.
I
They
don't
wouldn't
think
let you
so.
do that either?
No,
I'll find out about that.
she told me, well,
You
I
better
had a
make
lot
a
of
note of
dealings
those.
with her, and she told me, she says, I'm sorry, John, but she said, since we've gone in at Burlington with our bank, she says, they strictly nothing less than $500. But she says, if you want to, she says, you can take out a card. Now the banks are,
Is
going
that
in.
for that machine you mean? That,
No, probably
Or
not.
just credit
Master
card.
charge.
Yeah,
Master-
MasterCard.
Oh,
These
MasterCard,
three different
yeah.
things. She says you can borrow them, but she says it'll probably take you a month to get it through.
Yeah.
So I've been sending one, and of course I was, I had to get it. But
But that's
I
silly.
get stuck in Burlington last summer. Guy broke down on me, I had to stop and rent a car. But you know, I couldn't rent a car because I didn't have a
Credit.
credit
Credit
card.
card won't do a thing. Debbie tried to do that one day when she
And
broke
I had,
down.
I
If you
showed
don't have a
him my
credit
wallet,
card, you
I
can't
had
rent a car.
$500.
Well, you have to have credit.
Well, I had
There's
Tracy's,
someone
You have to have the credit
I had
card.
Tracy's check with me, I mean, express checks with me.
Uh-huh.
Well, they
They
wouldn't know.
wouldn't, they wouldn't take that. I had my own check and I had $500 in cash, I showed it to them.
It makes a difference. They probably don't want your money.
Well, you see, the thing is, you pay
they
for it
want
when
it,
you
but they
return the
don't
car.
want it till you get some more.
Oh,
I
no,
think
but
maybe
see, the
that's
trouble
why.
is, if something
Yeah.
should happen to that car where you had it, they can hump the price on your car where they can't, you pay them cash.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but they don't know, until you turn the car back in, you don't pay for it. And when, if you didn't have some credit, maybe they couldn't get back at you at that stage.
Probably no, but you
I don't know what that's.
take it out of your domestic.
I know, we went to England, that's what they said,
You know,
we'd have to have a visa or
Get one
something to
now.
rent a car.
Laura, you was gonna ask Willie if,
What?
the Kessman, there, I know, those people's in the other day there.
Cassidy's.
Guess-
Oh, yeah. I
You
want,
got, if, you can't tell the address right offhand, can you, probably?
No, but I can call you.
yeah, we want to ask them to, we forgot, but we want to ask, they're coming next July and we wanted to bring them, want them to bring some pictures of their place because they keep telling us about this lovely place they live and they have everything, bees and, you know, and we'd like some pictures of it.
Okay.
And where do they live? I know he works at Chase.
Riverside, Connecticut.
They live in Connecticut
And
and
he
he works
drives-
in,
He gets on a train, I think.
yeah, just like,
Huh?
just like Kinsey.
Goes through the,
Goes to the city in the train. He gets up at 4:45 in the morning.
he does?
Train goes like, I don't know, 5:45 or
Well,
Works for the
Kingsley
Chase
did too.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the Kingsley lived in New Canaan and took the
Yeah.
train to work in New York.
They all do that.
They seem to be all pleasant people, I think.
Very nice. He's real high up in the bank. He's on television programs about it and big ads for the bank. He signs them.
Yeah. I bet maybe that's, I guess I'm not sure today. I bet you, maybe he said it, I don't know.
Well, I don't know whether he was not.
I don't know that he was not, but I guess I'm not sure of that. Merchants Bank today.
From
I was
Chase
going to ask him
Manhattan.
the other day, what's a good investment? Well, I forgot everything about it. I was going to ask.
I was gonna ask him if you should put your money in for 1 year, 2 years, or 6 months on CDs. What Chase Manhattan, of course, he might say, well, we don't give that out free of charge, and I'll say, we don't give free of charge business on that. Yeah, you girls up there either.
Yeah.
He'd get a great laugh out of that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, talking about this New York business, this friend of ours, this fella just died.
You got to go?
He was like, you remember they had a cottage up in front of the, on the top of the lake there, Kinsley?
Oh,
And she wrote me that I just wish that he had lived in Greensboro because two of the people, the companies he worked for gave, the two of them together gave $1 million to Yale
Oh, yeah.
Medical School.
oh,
Now, I'd like just 1,000 or 2 of it.
you have a few thousand to remodel and finish up the town hall, huh? Well, not
Yeah,
more than
well, that's
1,000.
what I'm saying
Yeah,
here
let's
is,
have a few, let's
Yeah.
have 50,000 or something.
but $1 million, 500,000 apiece.
The next one will be 8 and 12, 10.
Yeah.
So he lived
So
in
you need to be
Greensboro?
getting home, huh?
They had a,
We all go.
I think we should be, I think we're done, I think we just.
they had a camp at the head of the lake. Who owns that camp now?
Kingsley's.
No,
Kingsley. Who owns that?
Gelson's.
Yeah, Mrs.
Yeah.
Gauss owns it, but they lived there, and when we were at Cedar Rock,
Oh, yeah.
they were, of course, he worked, and she would live here all summer, she and her daughter.
That's what I guess a lot of them did, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was almost 90, he just died. And we've kept writing to each other, we don't see each other, but for years and years and years, we've written. And at Christmas time, you never saw so much stuff. Of course, he works for this company, and the company sends out all kinds of crates of oranges and all that kind of stuff at
Chocolate.
Christmas.
Yeah.
You never saw the
Buns.
mess of stuff we'd get at Christmas. There would be 2 boxes of chocolates, and the best you could buy.
Fruitcake.
Fruit cake, yeah, and corned beef, a great big
You like
side of
that,
corned
Bernie?
beef, and I
I
can't
love
tell you.
it.
You do?
I should use fruitcake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, I love it.
You don't care?
Oh, you
I
damn
never
right.
liked it, but I like it.
Especially some of those I made with brand new rum.
I shouldn't, this is beautiful stuff. I shouldn't eat it, but I love it.
And this is, she wrote me, she said he wasn't they weren't affiliated with any church, so they're having a memorial get-together with all his friends and business partners. They're renting a hotel hall or something, and all getting together to talk about their knowing him and what they did, which is,
Similar thing to what they did for Louis Kessman sort of thing.
oh, that was,
That's nice.
and I, anyway, I was just thinking what we could do with just a little of that money.
Oh.
Well, why don't you write him and tell him that you need
I
some
know,
of
but
these.
he's passed.
He's passed away now.
This is it.
She wrote us,
He's gonna come in June, maybe we can.
no, I guess not.
Maybe I can talk with her so to get the town.
Talk about,
Yeah.
Louis' life, I used to ice up the refrigerator, and it took a 10 by 12 piece of ice, you know. They had a little one there in the kitchen, we had one up, I had one up, and boy, what a place that was to ice up. Like, you got along all right, but I wanted to be sure it was. But that's,
Some of those places you had to, I know down
Yeah,
that when I used to pedal milk, but you know.
Some are more particular than others, huh?
We were the first ones to pedal pasteurized milk around this lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we sat in there.